It's Tuesday night, and here I am. Kim's busy right now. She will be on the show when she gets done with whatever she's got going on. But until then, you get me, unfortunately. Anyways, how's everybody doing? It is Tuesday. We're going to have a lot of fun. Tonight, we're going to have Nicole on. We're going to talk both A Christmas Story and the sequel, the real sequel, A Christmas Story, Christmas. But until then, we'll give a shout out to everyone in the chat. Lunar Girl, Nicole, Ubaldo. Hey, how's it going, guys? Hope everybody's having a warm evening wherever you're at. It is for down here in the southwestern Arizona desert. It's only 69, so it feels good, honestly. But as you can tell, my voice is still fucked. So we're going to have a lot of fun anyways. You know, this is how we do things. Anyways, let's get on the other side of the show. That means I'm going to play the opening intro. Here we go. Welcome to Use and Abuse. I'm Scott. Normally have my wife Kim with me. Unfortunately, like I said, she is waiting for a few things. So when she gets in, she'll come on and we're going to have a lot of fun. Again, we are talking. Yeah, you know, supposed to have the banners up. I suck at some of this sometimes without Kim here. Episode 180, double feature, A Christmas Story and A Christmas Story Christmas. This ought to be a lot of fun. And of course, we're going to be joined by Nicole of Rogue One Radio, which will be great. But before we do, let's go ahead and get into Kim's favorite part, but she won't get to do it tonight, but I will do it. And that is the reads. Yeah. Anyways, I want to thank you to all of our patrons, Lunar Girl Dragon Buddy, Don Delasnuch-Stolsky, Nicholas Schaefer, Steve Long, Hannah, Mikey, Brenly, and Case. If you want to join our Patreon, go to patreon.com/usedabusepod. Search for Used Abused Pod today on all your favorite podcast apps, including Apple, Google, Audible, Amazon Music, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and more. Don't forget to smash that like button. And if you're new to the channel, click subscribe and then click that bell to be notified when we go live. This ought to be good with my voice tonight. You can find Use and Abuse Pod on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. You can email us at usedabusedpod@gmail.com. That and is spelled out AND. Our website is usedabusepod.com. There you can find links to all of our episodes, links to our YouTube videos, replays of our live shows, link to our merch store, and link to our Patreon under the Donate tab. You can leave us a message and also click subscribe to be notified by email when new audio-only episodes are available. If you want to leave us a voicemail, you can call 928-719-0749. Go to tpublic.com. Again, I'm failing at this. Search for Used Abused Pod, all lowercase. For our merch store, there are t-shirts, tank tops, hoodies, face masks, onesies, coffee mugs, and etc. Speaking of coffee mugs, let's pause right there. We're going to sidebar, and we're really going to do this for sure. Look for the Sidebar Cantina on TeePublic. Their newest design is Jennifer Lopez. Madame Shanti from Scarab After Dark got it on a coffee mug, and it looks friggin' awesome. Matter of fact, I think I'm going to have to get one for Kim. Since she's not in here to hear, hopefully she's not watching on YouTube. I didn't even look to see if she was in the chat, but yeah, I'm planning on getting that for Kim at some point because she likes to drink her coffee. So why not? I'm not gonna remember the hell is that. Oh yeah, T-Public. We are a proud member of the Red 5 Network. Go to red5network.com to find more exciting podcasts. And to find all 38 Red 5 Network podcasts, go to bio.link/Red5. And at this moment, that means it is also time for the Red 5 happenings. And to do that, we are going to bring in the one, the only, Luna Girl.
Hey, friends.
How's it going?
Not too bad. Thank you for the shout out for Jennifer Lopez.
Yeah, I mean, yesterday I wasn't really, I had a bunch of stuff going on yesterday, so I wasn't really active in the chat. But then I saw Shanti posted it. I'm like, oh, man, I got to watch this video real quick. And I'm just like watching, I'm like, damn, that looks hot.
Thank you.
It's awesome.
I worked really hard on that design.
It's an awesome design. And
thank you.
Yeah. And I know I forgot to mention it, but I'm going to mention it now. But I know it's in the our show notes, but as far as our intro music today, it was actually provided by backingtrack.com, backingtrack GG. It's down in the notes.
That was one hot intro, Scott. I gotta give it to you.
I'm going through all their songs, and because Techie uses them, and that's where I found them was through Techie. And so I'm like looking at this, going, "Oh, look, all these Christmas songs," and like I started listening to "We Wish You a Merry Christmas," and I'm like, "Dude, like, okay, this sounds like an 8-bit beginning, for like a video game or something." And then the metal, I'm like, "Yeah." That is the way Christmas music should be played.
If Extra Techie recommends something, always go with what Extra Techie suggests. I mean, not only does he teach it for a living, but he's got actually 3 fantastic YouTube channels. So if you want to see him with his Lego obsession, go to Extra Legos. If you want to see him and his computer stuff or networking, running Cat5 cable, whatever the case, go to Extra Techie. And if you want to see him talk about his Star Wars obsession, go to Extra Star Wars. I think that's all of his rebrandings. But in a few minutes, once we get to the ATSW family, we're going to talk about somebody else with rebrandings who has more than Extra Techie, but we'll get to that after the Red 5 reads.
Awesome. Speaking of which, I'm really excited about this Friday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's this Friday? What am I missing? What am I forgetting? What's this Friday?
Episode 7.
Episode 7. Oh, Stranger Things has happened, baby.
Come on. I'm watching this for the first time with you guys. So, it's like, it's like, oh my gosh,
Yeah, I haven't watched it just yet.
I haven't either. I haven't either.
I'll probably do it on Thursday, right before Dawn and I record.
Right.
But oh my gosh, I'm like, this season has me like holding my breath.
Exactly. I mean, you guys we're only on season 2. We're all on season 2. We're doing this together. I mean, when you guys mentioned it, I'm like, oh heck yeah, I'm gonna do this. And then I have a problem when I get I like a show. I like to binge it.
Yes.
And also this popping left and right. And I went, no. Stay with them. That way you're able to act in the, react in the chat, this, with you guys, or even, come on and be able to talk about that one episode or stuff that happened before, and you're not accidentally dropping something that's coming up.
Yes. Yes.
But yeah, I am excited about it every week.
And before I start the Red 5 happenings and the ATSW family, those Jennifer Lopez mugs are on sale for a few more hours. You can get it 27% off. So I will text you the link. And if anybody else is interested, find me on the Sidebar Cantina socials. Find me on the Lunar Girl Twitter. I'll get you the link.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, even if we can't get it, even on a discount, I will still buy it. I don't care. I mean, it's kind of funny because they were talking, and I know it's been kind of an ongoing thing for a couple of weeks about the now missing Jason Rhodes shirt or logo.
Yeah,
right?
it was pulled for some reason.
I got it.
So
I'm wondering if somebody, not Dave and Jason, but somebody reported it or something.
I have no idea. All I know is that when I took over the shop for the guys, it was missing, as well as another design that I'm just not thinking of. It was missing. Or maybe it was pulled because it didn't have the mature content flag on it. I have no idea, but we're getting it back organized. Dave's gonna, find that. I've got we have Wally working on another print. I have 2 more designs that I want to upload. I just have to fix the damn pixels because it keeps saying that it's not enough pixels. And I'm like,
I know
screw you, it's not enough pixels, or else there's too many pixels. So
exactly,
whatever.
That's probably the reason why I haven't uploaded anything really on ours, because I'm like, oh my gosh, okay, yeah, like you said, not enough pixels, too many pixels. I'm like,
yeah, I think I'm going to have to ask Techie to do a show on how to fix pixels when you're uploading designs to TeePublic. So
I know,
I'll send him that suggestion after this show.
With this computer, the Mac Mini, I know it's not the right thing to do. I just went in and grabbed one of the shots, like the original design, and I just changed the pixels.
Yeah,
what they wanted. I'm like, okay, I'll just do it this way. I know it doesn't make it that great, but I'm not that tech savvy.
Yeah, I'm figuring it out.
Help us, Extra Techie. You're our only hope.
Yes, please.
Yeah, exactly.
He's probably not listening to this because he's got like a million kids and a million different personalities and a million jobs. So
exactly.
But I'll definitely flag him down. I know where to find him.
Oh yeah, I think we all know where to find him. If it's not a football night and he's watching the Eagles. Yeah, okay, but I was almost gonna say something Sunday, but I'm like, after watching the highlights or the red zone of that game, I'm like, yeah, how are they even that good? I'm talking about the Commanders.
I know, right?
That good.
No, I didn't watch the game because I was working on house projects, and then I had to run and pick up groceries right when they were in overtime, so I didn't even see that. But stupid burgers,
right? But heck, that's okay, because on Sunday I was actually dancing. I was happy because Jimmy G got hurt. Hey, and I'm a 49er fan.
I know. I
have hated. I was okay with him in the beginning, but then everybody's like, "Oh, he's coming from the Patriots. He's gonna be just like Tom Brady." I'm like, "Oh shit! Don't get on these bandwagon people like that." And sure enough, disappointed us. And then he goes down, or after we lost Trey Lance earlier in the season, he comes in, does well, and then he went down like, "Thank you." And then I'm like, "Wait, who's our third string quarterback?" And they're like, "Some dude named Purdy. He was Mr. Irrelevant this year." I'm like, "Oh shit! He was the last pick of the draft. Oh, this is not good." But he actually did pretty good. He threw like one interception, but he did really well. We won the game. I'm not excited about this week's game because we're playing Tampa Bay, and for some reason they like to come back at the end. I wish somebody would just take care of Brady for good, but hey. I can say this right now because, well, actually, it doesn't matter. He's no longer with New England, so she don't care about him. She's one of those fans like, you leave my team, screw you.
Yeah,
I was the same
way
with
her.
I was the same way with Joe Montana. When Montana left for Kansas City, I understood why he left. But when he left for Kansas City, I was like, dude, I hope you get hurt. I don't care.
You're one of those fans.
Oh hell yeah! Oh yeah, you leave my team, I hope you get hurt.
Yeah, I don't wish hurt on anybody.
Yeah, well, I figure with their money, they can afford it.
Yeah. Yeah.
No. I mean, nothing like oh my God, I can't talk.
Debilitating?
Thank you. Yeah, I mean, nothing. I mean, obviously, just to get knocked out.
Yeah. I mean, like, just like any guy, I wish somebody has like a really hard nut shot and they're left on the field with the fumble, But.
Right. Well, I mean, it's like I've always told Kim, she's like, I don't understand what goes on in the middle of that, the two lines. I'm like, you don't want to know.
Mm-hmm.
It's very brutal. And pretty much every one of us are cheating.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
She's like, what do you mean? I'm like, the first thing you do is when you go line up against a guy and you're on the offensive line, as you come in, you friggin' run your fist down into his crotch.
Mm-hmm.
Cup check. If he ain't wearing one, it's focused the rest of the game.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other thing is like I used to have my hands taped to the white color if we were home, or to the home colors of the team we were playing, so that way I could hold and not get caught.
Oh, sneaky.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah. Yep. And I'm trying to remember. I think I only had maybe 2 holding calls called on me my whole football career.
Oh,
in
wow.
High school and Pop Warner or whatnot. But anyways, enough football talk.
We'll be having more football talk tomorrow at 6 p.m. Eastern on the Sidebar Cantina Facebook exclusive group live, a booth in the back.
Yes.
Join us then.
Yeah, I know. I don't get my notifications, which is weird.
Well, Don hasn't been putting them on until like exactly right at the minute that they go on. Okay. So maybe that's why.
Okay. Shoot me a text.
You got it.
I'll jump on.
You got it. I'll do that.
I mean, even though I'm not in the fantasy football this year, I still like to listen.
Thanks.
I
mean, definitely love the support.
Exactly. I mean, and that's the thing, isn't it? And then probably next year, I'm more likely probably going to maybe come back into it.
Woohoo! That'd be awesome.
I don't know. We'll see. I thought about it this year, but then originally I was supposed to go to Nevada for Hannah to go to school. That fell through because she didn't have the money set up, which is a good thing now it fell through because that school actually never even started.
Ooh.
They're still remodeling the place. But anyway.
Everything happens for a reason.
It's true. It's true. And it just got light in here. Kim just came in. Let's go ahead and get on what's going on with Red 5 and the ATSW family.
You got it. So we've got an exciting night after Used and Abused at 8 p.m. Eastern. Tune into Rogue One Radio, where they are going to be talking Tales of the Jedi, my girl Ahsoka, and guess what? They asked me to be a guest. So yay! Come and join us in that live chat on YouTube, 8 p.m. Eastern. It's going to be very lively. Tomorrow, Wednesday, December the 7th at 7:05 p.m. Eastern, you can find ATSW The Escape Pod. And guess what? It's going to be a ladies' takeover. It is going to be ladies' night. We are going to have Madame Chantal from Scare of After Dark. We're going to have Miss Tina, the meme queen. Everybody knows Tina always finds the best memes. We are going to have Sunray, my Sunray, Nicole from Rogue One Radio, and I'm going to host. And it's going to be spicy. It's going to be sexy. It's probably going to be pretty funny because you know what happens when ladies get together. So we're going to have a great time. Join us in that live chat on YouTube at ATSW The Escape Pod, 8 p.m. No, I'm sorry, 7:05 p.m. Eastern. At 11 p.m. Eastern, you can find our brothers over on the West Coast, Sarlacc Digest, and they are going to be having their Star Wars Line Talk. Line Talk, the best way to describe it is everything that they're going to talk about as they're standing in line to see a Star Wars show. So you'll see some rumors. You'll hear the latest scoops. Go join them. That's 11 p.m. Eastern and 8 p.m. Pacific time. At 9:30 on Thursday, December the 8th, is WSTR Media. They are going to be talking about The Force Awakens, another Star Wars flick. And I believe they're going to be discussing how, I don't know, something about George Lucas in there. You can find out all the goods by joining them on Thursday evening at 9:30 p.m. Eastern, 6:30 p.m. Pacific time on YouTube. Friday, December the 9th, as we discussed a little bit earlier, at 7 p.m. Eastern, Stranger Things has happened. Me, and my co-host Don Dillasnooch are going to be discussing Season 2, Chapter 7. It's going to be phenomenal. And if you like adult beverages, join us in the live chat on YouTube. We are going to be drinking holiday festive spirits, probably with some cranberry ginger ale and possibly a little bit of vodka. So join us with your drink in the live chat and let's talk. Following that, at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific, the Red 5 Tavern will be open. Dungeon Master Sir Charles, will be taking us through Tales of the Bounty Board Frozen Fright Part 3. It's going to be featuring Dragon Buddy as Urshk the Reborn, Tom Warbear as Eldrin the Sorcerer Wood Elf, Tina as Venestra, another Wood Elf, who is an evil warlock and very salty. Miss Shanti, Princess Sprinkles. She's a princess now. Princess Sprinkles, the gnome druid. Charles will also be making an appearance as Nero, the halfling rogue, and myself as Kalisha, the moon elf druid. We're going to have a lot of fun. Things are going to get spicy. We're going to say the big evil bad guy. Should be the end to a 3-part quest. Come and join us. And again, that's at the Red 5 Tavern on YouTube, 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific. On Saturday, we have Scarif Live coming at you at 8 p.m. Eastern. They are going to be discussing the Star Wars special editions, and their special guest is Mark Austin Anthony. He's so cool. He's so nice. And if you don't know him, he played Boba Fett in the remastered special edition of A New Hope. He also worked on a lot of graphic effects. So join us over at Scarif Scuttlebutt Podcast for Scarif Live, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. Following that show on Saturday at 9:30 Eastern, Dork Wars, where they're going to be having Dork Wars Live and discussing, get this, Tales of the Jedi. Blake, who is the host of Dork Wars, has been on a return to Hogwarts for the past 3 months now. It's finally done, and they're doing Tales of the Jedi. Yay! I told him, total squee. Gonna have a great time. So join us over at Dork Wars on YouTube, 9:30 p.m. Eastern, 6:30 p.m. Pacific. On Sunday, tentatively, is Comics and Cosmetics. They usually go live at 8 o'clock. I'm not positive. I haven't had any, anybody saying for definite or not. So keep a lookout for the Red 5 promos on that one. And then next Monday, December the 12th, 5:30 Eastern, the Sideboard Cantina is going to be talking about the Vader comics, 2020 edition, issues 6 through 12. So join them. Dave and Jason get this glow about them when they talk Star Wars stuff. Always a great time. Hennifer will be there at the end of the episode. We just love her to pieces. So that's 5:30 p.m. Eastern and 2:30 p.m. Pacific time. At 7 p.m. Eastern, Force of Light will be having Force of Light Live. Join Michelle and Natalie the Red for that. 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific. And then at 8:30 p.m. Eastern after the weekend. Well, actually, the time is not confirmed. Sometimes it's 8 o'clock. Sometimes it's 8:30. Sometimes it's 9:30 Eastern. Subtract 3 hours to go over to Pacific time. So keep an eye on the promos, but they will be having a viewer appreciation stream and a slew of special guests. And that concludes the Red 5 reads for the Red 5 happenings. And now we are going to talk about the ATSW family. As we mentioned earlier with Scott, 6 p.m. tomorrow, Wednesday the 7th. A booth in the back is going to be discussing week 13. We had a huge winner with the crappiest of quarterbacks who won for the week and probably has first place now. We have a husband and wife duo with big, huge argument. A toaster was involved. You're going to want to stay tuned for this one. So that is exclusively at the Sidebar Cantina on Facebook in their group, not the page. And that will be an exclusive Facebook Live every week, 6 p.m. Eastern on Wednesday. Layman's terms. Keith released Psycho this past weekend. Great 20-minute episode from him. Always a good time. Subscribe to Layman's Terms on YouTube. His episodes are never really too long. They're always very insightful. He's got a huge love of horror. He's got a huge love of kung fu movies. You'll really like him. Subscribe to him for your source of drunken banter. Sweet Studios is in the news. And not just Sweet Studios. Explicit Noise is in the news this week. Explicit Noise got together and went into the studio to start recording this past weekend. That would be Big Speed. That would be Nurch and Dale, because he doesn't have a nickname or anything like that. So Big Swede, Nurch, Dale, all recorded this weekend. You're going to love it. Of course, I get dibs on snippets because I've known them. Like one of them, I knew all of his life. So stay tuned to Explicit Noise. Subscribe to Sweet Studios. Follow them on all of their socials because they will be, giving you updates. Sometimes they like to give you sneak peeks. And that about concludes everything. I'm seeing in the chat now that Orange and Fett Show is going to go live on Friday. So subscribe to Orange and Fett Show on YouTube and Spotify and follow them on the socials. And that's all I have this week.
Woohoo! Hey, look at
Kim. Hey, Kim.
Hi.
Somebody finally joined me.
Yeah, finally.
Finally. No, I'm joking.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh, yeah, it's gonna be a fun, exciting week. That is for sure.
It is definitely ramping up to be an exciting week this week.
You know, I was actually talking to Kim about something and kind of hold you on the show for a minute for this because I was actually talking to her. I'm like, you know what we ought to do? I'm like, because I keep seeing a lot of different chats of the in the different chat groups, live chats. A couple of people are wanting to really do Wednesday.
It was a really good series.
And so I'm like, you know, we could always kill Eddie and the Cruisers at the end of the year and do Wednesday instead.
Yes, it was a really good series. The episodes are probably a good 45 minutes long. You might want to break it up into 2 or 3 episodes like you did Tales of the Jedi.
Okay. All right. Well,
just a suggestion because that way you won't miss anything.
Yeah. Well, if we do,
really great series, I highly recommend it.
Yeah, I'll be reaching out to you though.
Yeah, I'll talk on one of those episodes.
And I'm assuming I'm also going to be reaching out to not only will be bringing on the moon, but I'll also try to bring on the sun for those.
I know a certain Sunray who's been dying to talk about
That's what I was thinking. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we might just nix Eddie and the Cruisers at the end of the year and let's do Wednesday.
Why not?
Fantastic.
Right,
yeah.
cool.
Let's do it.
Get a hold of me.
All right.
Get a hold of me.
We'll book it.
Yes.
Bye.
Thank you. Have a great week.
You too. See you next week.
See you next week. Anyways, real quick. Shoot. Oh yeah. As a reminder, all links are in the show notes pinned to the top of our Twitter page and go to bio
link.
Bio what? Here, Kim. Hey, this is for both of us now.
Yeah.
Please get your shit together.
Go to bio.link/usedabusedpod, and there you can find all the links to everything we got. But it is time.
Yes.
It is time
for our double feature presentation.
Right. And that is A Christmas Story
and A Christmas Story Christmas.
And with the one, the only Sunray, better known as Nicole from Rogue One Radio. Hey, Nicole.
Hi.
Okay, so I have to be honest. Can you guys see all my fun facial expressions I've been making at you guys for the last 2 or 3 minutes?
Yeah.
Are you in the back? I'm like, I'm dying. I want to talk about this. And then I'm like, Wednesday? Wait, we're talking about Wednesday? Well, I'm talking about Wednesday. This is what happens when somebody loves many fandoms as I do. I get excited all about everything. And
yeah.
You
know, but the thing is being on the side, you know, obviously, you know, real quick, on this last Sunday, me, Kim, and you were all on comics and cosmetics with Danny. And Kim's already laughing and choking on her water.
I had a good time.
It was a good time. Having a good time.
Right. You know, so I mean, again, yes, that was a lot of fun. You know, not only talking about gosh, what the hell did we talk about?
We talked
about
Willow.
Her anniversary.
Right. Her 1 year live streaming anniversary, which was really awesome. I mean, and then, of course, she mentioned it, but I'm also going to mention it here. We have Nicole to thank for tagging us in a Twitter post to about Star Wars podcast from Wikipedia, who have now reached out to us about coming on the show. We've actually talked about it, and they're going to get back to me and let me know when they can do it. We're going to probably do it somewhere in January. So again, as I always say, when I give off a list of shows we're going to do in certain months,
subject to change.
All of our shows are subject to change. You know, just like I've got to get.
So I would have been like, ah!
Right. And just like I got to also get back with Lunar Girl and Dragon Buddy because, hey, they still have an episode to do with us on Indie, but it's not going to hit the back burner. It's not going to wait until next November. It is going to happen whenever we can get everyone lined up to do it. You know,
yes,
life gets in the way, and that's what and it happens. So we understand.
Yep.
I mean, we've pushed shows back and stopped shows even after, you know, Lunar Girl does her thing with the promos, and it's like, oh yeah, we're not doing that now because we can't do it, or this, or something's come up, and we've had to either even cancel ourselves.
Yeah. Well,
it sucks, you know, but
yeah, we're gonna book Wednesday.
All right, book it.
We'll book it at the end of the year.
Yeah, in like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Yep, exactly. But anyways, we're here tonight to talk A Christmas Story. It was 1983.
And A Christmas Story Christmas, which just came out this year.
Right.
Can you guys see?
I can see, yep.
And I've kind of
Here we go. Here we go. Solo mode.
there.
I love the leg lamp. See,
love it.
Oh, we're going to totally talk about that. This could get really interesting tonight, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you brought your spiced eggnog. We might have to go a little after dark over in here. Talking about Christmas Story. We're going. Y'all going to be.
Shanti's here.
Be prepared. Be prepared.
Is it Shanti or is it Josh? I remember one time we had Shanti in, and then we gave access. So, is it? Which one is it? Tom, have a good night, by the way.
Yes, we will definitely. It's going to get very steamy all up in here. You never knew that could ever happen with A Christmas Story, but I have news for everybody.
Oh boy!
You can leave. I got you, Scott. I got you.
It's Shanti. Josh is busy. We'll leave it at that. Josh is busy.
We'll leave it at that.
Oh Lord, are we really talking about Christmas movies, or are we talking about?
It's going to be a mix tonight. I promise.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It would be.
Oh yeah.
Just sticky.
What?
I came prepared. Trust me, I've got notes. Like a couple of pages worth of notes just for today.
Good.
I'm prepared.
Holy fuck.
See? Yeah, he's going to be real sticky after he hears all these details about A Christmas Story. Woo!
Yeah, right.
Family classic.
As always. All righty. Well, A Christmas Story.
Yes.
A family-friendly, fun movie.
At the moment, it's currently family-friendly. He's like, oh shit,
Lord.
Go there. She's going to go there.
I'm like, listen, maybe I should just go grab my bottle right now.
Well, hold on. If you do, I got my spiced eggnog right here.
Oh, well.
My Wizard of Oz glass, and I have a reason for using this glass tonight, which we'll get into. But
all right,
you know,
hang on a minute. We'll let you talk to the people for a minute.
Me and Kim. Well, hello, folks. Nice to meet you. Thank you.
Kim's mic's still on, so she.
Don't forget to also hit the like and subscribe button, because that's very important. What's everyone drinking tonight? Kim, what are you drinking? Okay,
well, just a minute.
What are you drinking? Yes.
Well, you bring it in, and I'll drink the eggnog with you.
Oh, hell no.
Cheers. For those, I'll let this out now about the fun fact. So, The Wizard of Oz, of course, had a few characters inside A Christmas Story movie, the 1983 movie.
Oh,
so had to be. It was important. And yes, it's got a little run out in it, folks.
London Bridges.
Falling
down. I heard about London Bridges. Now I just can't wait to see what everyone's saying in the chat. I want to know what everyone's drinking. Hopefully some bourbon. Hopefully some spiced eggnog. Some champagne.
And then, of course, put it on wrong.
I like that.
All right. Unfortunately, ain't much left of it.
Cheers.
That is because we actually have been drinking it.
Yeah. Well.
So got to get some more. And there it goes. And there it goes. It's gone now.
Amen. Oh, damn, I love that shit. Gotta get some more for next week.
All right.
Oh, God. Anyways, did you see the intro?
Yes, it is so awesome. I loved it. I loved it. I was so excited.
It was funny.
I've been excited all day. And then you add a really new cool intro. And I'm like, I'm telling you, I was dying in the back. That's why I'm like, Thomas mentioned something in the chat. I'm like, I got to get into the chat. I got to talk.
Right. So it was funny. I'm working on the intro, and I'm not even knowing what song I'm going to use yet, and I'm building it up, and all of a sudden, one of the promos from earlier in the week of last week, it pops up. It was like, oh wow, that's the same freaking background. I'm like, so I think I texted the little girl, our messenger. I'm like, hey, I use that same background. But hey, who cares? It was awesome.
Great minds think alike.
I had a fun time putting that together. I'm actually, we actually decided out of our pocket, not, I mean, our patrons, they pay for, they help us make the website and website, and stream in the StreamYard,
and the StreamYard,
which I don't know, I may look at something cheaper later, see if I can find something cheaper that does better later. But anyways, we decided to pay for Canva, and I'm happy we did, because I'm able to do a lot more with it, with a lot of the pro stuff they have available. And I'm having fun making these videos now.
Awesome.
I mean, it was what happened. So what happened was, I'll kind of get ready to be the background real quick, and then we'll move on. Was when a girl had pointed out that on our original video, it still had the square red 5 circle. And
Bro loves that.
Right. Exactly. And of course, I noticed it the week before and went, oh crap, we gotta get that fixed. So I meant to reach out I thought I could just do it with my iMovie, but it wasn't working right. So I reached out to Alan to find what he used. And because I know he's got a lot of stuff going on right now. And he said he just used Canva. I went, okay, cool. I'll just start using Canva. Cool. And so I went in and actually made a quick one to make a bigger red 5 circle over the original square one. That was the quick fix for the rest of the year, so I could work on a new one, for a new generic one for next year. And then when we did the first Patreon takeover with Nick, I went in and made this new opening
for Doctor Who.
And then of course I've got the one ready for Indy one when we get that around to it. And then all I have to do now is go in and adjust the episode number. But other than that, the Indiana Jones one is ready to go, which is actually kind of cool. I mean, I hate to say this, but it actually works out, because we're going to talk about it now after the trailer. Which is kind of cool. So, I mean, and a blessing, it was actually probably a thing like, oh, look, you get the trailer before you guys are actually going to talk about it.
Exactly.
So, but anyways, that's going to be a lot of fun, because that is straight up. Just Indiana Jones. We're not talking about, each individual movie or whatnot, or which ones I like or which ones I don't like. Well, we might talk about that, but anyways. But hey, we're talking Christmas story.
Story.
Kimberly, before I call you by your sister's name again. Sorry.
That's fine. I've been called Lucy. I've been called Cindy. I've been called Amanda. I've been called everything.
Okay. I know once in a while I start thinking really quick, and then all of a sudden her name gets on my, and it's like, okay, oh, it's Kimberly. Anyways, favorite part from Christmas Story?
The pink bunny suit.
The pink bunny suit.
Yeah, and when his dad said he looks like a deranged Easter bunny, and the mom says, "No, we don't."
That's your favorite part? Yeah, my favorite part is obviously, I mean, you go with that part, or you go with the fudge part when he.
Oh,
that's not what I said.
Scott, would you like some fudge?
Right on.
Scott,
but
I have it prepared. Would you like some fudge?
Oh gosh, dang!
Anybody in the chat want some fudge?
This is when you wish. This is when you wish it was like some type of newer technology where she could just pass it through, and Oh yeah. My favorite part though, and it's probably more
like
from that era, right? Or not from being a boy or whatnot, because we've all done that with our friends, where Flick and Swartz are arguing about whether or not his tongue's going to stick to the friggin' pole. And then you get the dog, I dare you, I double dare you, triple dog dare you, which is a freaking, you're screwed. you're screwed at that point. I mean, yep, you're doing it regardless if you don't want to. You're gonna do it, otherwise you're. But I mean, we've all been there. We've all done it to our friends.
I know.
And there are points where you're just like, you know what? Yeah, I've got him at this point here. He's expecting me to go here, but then you just like, boom, triple dog.
Uh-huh.
You know, you just jump. You're like, oh, screw this. He's gonna chicken out,
Yeah,
or whatnot, and you go to the final hurt, go for the throat.
yeah, I know.
But yeah, that's my favorite part because it reminds me of school.
Uh-huh.
What's your favorite part, Nicole?
Oh, we're jumping straight to favorite parts. One, I love the whole thing with the leg, which we will get to. I even sent you a special pictures. We have a lot of conversation happening tonight.
Oh God, yes, Shanti. Oh hell yeah.
Okay, so I have one sweet moment that I will say is one of my favorites, and then I will jump to a funnier one. But for the sweets, is actually when the mom and dad sit at the Christmas tree together. Because it's just sweet. It's just sweet. It's pure. Okay.
Okay.
But on the funnier side, let's see here. There's so many good parts. I love the triple dog Delia, which I should tell you that when I'm like, hey, we should do this podcast. I should be like triple dog Delia. We should do that. Let me see here. So many good ones because I love it when he can't, when Randy can't fit in his suit. I mean,
and then she's wrapping him up like a freaking mommy.
Every mom has been there at least one time with their kids, at least once, to at least to make sure they're not cold. I also like again the leg, the whole thing with the leg, which I cannot wait to. I'm so excited. I've took so many notes because there's so many things I'm excited to talk about, and everything has to do with everything we've already mentioned so far. So.
Well, one thing I want to bring up is Melinda Dillon playing the mom.
Yeah.
Now, Kim's like, okay, I know I've seen her in other movies. I just don't know what. And I'm like, well,
me. Ready?
Go for it.
Go ahead, Nicole.
Okay. So we've seen her in E.T. Yes, Lunar Girl, we still love you. We've also seen her in Harry and the Hendersons. I love, where's JT in the chat right now? I love Harry and the Hendersons. I'm dying to do a Harry and the Hendersons chat because I love him. He's like my favorite my favorite Bigfoot. I know she's been a lot more. And when we get to the other one, I'll talk about, we could talk about that because that was switched. That was one of the minor changes, but.
Right. But I mean, and of course she was in Close Encounters. I mean, who
yes.
could forget her in that movie? I love that movie. Exactly. She's a great actress. I mean, Harry and the Hendersons. I mean, that's why it's on the docket.
My favorite movie.
That's why it's on the docket for next year.
It's one of my favorites too. Yeah. I had a Harry and the Hendersons stuffed animal doll, but it wasn't a doll because it actually stuck to, it's supposed to stick to your the windows. But I didn't care. I didn't stick him to the windows. He had a special spot.
Yes.
Right on.
My parents should have known when I was a kid, when I had one of everything kind of thing under the sun, that this is what was going to happen. What?
No, Shanti's saying she can quote the whole movie.
Good.
And Ubaldo's saying, I always do the 24-hour marathon.
Yeah,
my sister does too. She does it on regardless if it's on TV. Actually, she does the TBS one, and then
she does
because of the fact that there's a TNT starts a little bit later, and then they run a little bit longer. Then she'll switch the channel into TNT.
Yeah, she will.
I'm just like, for me, if I'm gonna do that, I would rather just put the Blu-ray in and watch it 24 hours straight.
Yeah,
just have it on a loop. That way, I have no commercials.
Yeah,
I'm one of those ones where I think because I'd watched so many movies in the 80s on Sunday night, ABC Sunday Night Movie, where you always had commercials, that if I have the disc or I can get it on streaming, I'd rather watch it without commercials.
So blind.
I mean, as Kim knows, she knows that when we're watching football or that's why I watch NFL Red Zone Network. Or yeah, and I also love that now ESPN does have no commercials during the F1 race, because if it's NASCAR weekend or whatnot, I'm flipping channels until it comes back on from break.
Yes. Oh yes.
I hate commercials. I'm not a commercial person. I mean, the only time I will watch the commercials is actually Super Bowl.
Yeah.
You know, if we're talking about commercials, right now would be a really good time if you want to talk about the leg.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the leg.
Talk about the leg lamp.
Let's talk about the.
So I
must be Italian.
What?
No, I'm just. Every time that part happens in the movie, you know, he lays it down. Oh, Fragile. Must be
So it was so funny when I was doing some research on this. I found out something really interesting. Would you like to show the picture, Scott? It's picture time. Okay, so this is called Drink Knee High, and this is actually the picture that inspired author Jean Shepherd to write about the leg lamp. This was the inspiration right here. Get it? Knee high.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I get it.
Yeah, knee high. That was a real soda back in the day, and that is what inspired the famous leg lamp that is in the movie.
Right on. That is freaking awesome.
Yeah. That inspired that. I thought that was like a really cool fun fact. I did not know that until like for this, and I was just like, oh, and then I had to look it up because and then when I found the image, I'm like, Scott, you have to show this. We have to show this.
Yeah. No, I was like, I'm looking at it going, I was thinking that maybe it might have something to do with the leg lamp. I'm like, I don't know what she's got going on, so we'll just wait and see.
That's one of the minor, rated PG things. Yes. So yes, I thought that was
Shanti gives us a great fun fact. Gene Shepherd is the man telling Ralphie and Randy to get to the back of the line when they visit the mall Santa at Higbee's.
Very true.
It's freaking cool.
That is very true. So I just loved that fun fact though, because that's something actually I did not know. So I did. I'm like, that's just so cool.
And DB's wanting to put cocaine back in Coca-Cola. Make Coke great again.
So I also took time. So if you guys don't mind switching gears,
No.
I got so excited. So last year, this was on my book list, and I didn't get it because I didn't buy it last year. So I decided this year, when we started talking about doing this, I'm like, that's it. I'm gonna buy it. I'm so excited, and I did. I went out and bought the book "In God We Trust" and All Others Pay Cash by Jean Shepherd, which is really interesting because now I feel like I know a little bit more about A Christmas Story Christmas and maybe where they drew some inspirations from that. So I've been busy reading this whole or weekend when I could. And there's just so many cool things about Jean Shepherd. One, he was a radio personality, which I absolutely love because I absolutely love radio. He also, how this all started was a couple big things actually that happened. One, his stuff was inside Playboy first, people. Playboy, 1964. He actually had these articles about Ralphie inside Playboy.
Right on.
I know. I don't know if you guys do that, but I was like, that's kind of cool. Who knew? If you want to see a different telling of A Christmas Story, you can find it on YouTube. Is the 1976 PBS special called The Phantom of the Hearth. I actually did watch it. It's very interesting. However, Ralphie's not a little boy. He's actually a junior going to the prom. Fun fact.
Interesting.
Now, I also have to mention that in regards to director Bob Clark, thank you to Bob
Dragon
Clark
Buddy
for doing Porky's.
Dragon Buddy says real quick, he quit doing coke because the ice cubes have a terrible feeling when they go up your nose.
Yeah, bad idea.
Yep.
So, Bob Clark actually did Porky's first, and it was because he did the the Porky's movie from 1981, that they actually gave him the okay to do A Christmas Story. So talk about going from dirty to this.
Right.
But it's so interesting because it's like, I think about it going, this book, which it was as all the short stories that were inside Playboy, were made into a book, gone to a director who did Porky's, and then we get a totally family story. And I'm like, how they pull it off?
Right. That's freaking cool.
All the dirty stuff out, I guess. Because if you watch the PBS, it's really interesting. When I was watching the PBS one, you can feel the vibes were slightly different. You're like, you can feel the, yeah, what's talking about? You can see where the vibes changed from that one to the actual 1983 of A Christmas Story.
Why do they call her Lassie?
Oh, that is Kim Cattrall.
Oh, God, man,
I may have Porky's memorized.
Oh, I love that movie.
As he's laughing behind the gym mat, just so you know.
Yeah. God damn it, I can't get that scene out of my head.
I know.
Oh gosh, I mean, it is. Yeah, we're obviously gonna be talking a couple movies here, but or when Beulah Ballbreaker's trying to get the principal to do a lineup.
Yeah, Ballbreaker.
Yeah.
Oh man, we could totally do oh man.
Yeah, we probably should.
I triple dog dare ya.
All right, we're doing it.
I'm gonna go straight to triple dog.
It don't matter. I would do it anyways because I love Porky's.
I love Porky. I'm not even. Yeah. Oh man. Yeah.
For Porky's, like Porky's, Revenge of the Nerds, all them movies I had originally seen, obviously Sunday night movies, because my parents weren't letting me watch rated R movies at that point of my life. But as I got into my teens, parents had stuff recorded. We would watch these movies going, holy hell, I love this movie. Obviously, at that point in my life, it was for different reasons.
Yeah.
But as you get older, you also respect the story and go, hey, you know what? I understand it. I get it. But yeah, we definitely could do Porky's.
But I found it very interesting how they took this book, again, that was in Playboy, and re-screenplayed it down to a family friendly, no longer a junior in high school going to his prom and having fun, to this. And I just love it. And then of course in real life, Gene Shepherd's brother's real name was Randy. So yeah, I love it. Cool.
That is awesome.
I know there's so many cool things that I've learned. And I just love it.
The one thing I'm going to say about this movie, definitely about A Christmas Story, is there's not a spot in it I don't like. No, for me, it does not slow down. It's constant go. Obviously you get the point of, I mean, and I think most of us remember being the younger kids and the older kids were always picking on you, and whatnot. So you got the Scott Fargus, or Scott Fargus as he would call him, but his real name is Scott, which is fucking hilarious because so is mine. But for the way they were terrorizing the kids, beating them up or whatnot. I mean, like, God, I remember that shit.
Yeah.
And then eventually you have that moment where, you've had enough.
Yep, exactly.
And I could actually relate with Ralphie on that one because I did have that happen where I finally fought back, but I blacked out. Where I really didn't know what the hell I was doing until my friends got me pulled off. Obviously, we were at school and it was a little bit different where it wasn't my mom coming, but my friends ended up pulling me off. And finally, I got me calmed down enough where I kind of came back out and they told me what the hell. And I'm like, bull crap, I wouldn't do nothing like that. They're like, look at your hands. And my hands were bloodied and were swelling up. And I'm like, oh my gosh.
You did do it.
Yeah, I did. And so after that is one of those things where I stopped if something started, any kind of confrontation started happening, I'm like, back off. I mean, part of it I blame on myself anyways because of the fact that I took a year off from football because I was a pushover. I wouldn't go get hit or whatnot. I took a year off, worked with my dad, and we made me mean in a way. I was still cool with my friends and stuff, but on the football field, well, I didn't know how to take that football field stuff and keep it there.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's what actually happened is because I took no prisoners on football anymore. And yeah, but then I learned how to keep them separated, but yeah, no, I mean, I went through a moment where, I know I can black out, and that's why I know I got to keep my temper in check or or anger, if I, and I don't try to go for confrontations, I mean, obviously on a YouTube thing, it's a little bit different. I mean, even Kim though, I mean, when I've confronted people about, trolls, real trolls, when they come into the chat and they're starting to antagonize you. I went off on one and Kim's like, calm down. But yeah, no, I mean, like I said, I mean, I think we've all been there at one point being where we've all been bullied at some point,
Yeah.
And yeah.
So I think that's what also makes Ralphie so, like you're saying, very relatable. We've all kind of been in those shoes. Although I can't fully say he was, well, yes, he had to deal with a bully. I think he still had his friends, his comrades,
right.
His bosom friends that he called it, his besties. So I think that was a good thing. It wasn't like he was just alone though. So that's a good thing.
Right.
Because it wasn't like he was like the bottom of the pecking deck. I didn't feel. I was like,
right.
Even when I'm reading, I'm like, yeah, no, you still got a couple of friends and they got your back,
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. Yep.
Even if they, triple dog dare other people.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. Well, I mean, obviously into that scene, I love that part when the teacher's like, where's Flake? Ralphie.
Love it. Oh yeah, they had each other's back. They weren't.
Right.
The girl's going.
And then finally she asked the whole class and the little girls all
trying to hold back a laugh.
Yeah, that scene's hilarious, and the behind the scenes is how they did it was really neat.
Yeah.
They did a suction tube or something, or pipe or something on the inside, so they didn't realize some water. No children were hurt in this making the Christmas Story. But it was because of A Christmas Story that they needed to add an additional warning of, do not try this at home.
Exactly. Exactly.
I look at that, right? And I think of stuff like that because I'm like, eventually, even like in wrestling, they had to do the same in professional wrestling. They had to say the same thing. Do not try this at home. And I'm thinking to myself, I remember even in the 80s being a fan of Hulk Hogan and stuff. And me and my buddy, our buddies, we all, act like we're clotheslining each other, but we never connected.
I know.
We would get to a certain point. I mean, it wasn't like we were, and then but as the 90s came around, you got people doing all their backyard wrestling. I'm like, what the hell things are doing? I mean,
yeah.
Why would you want to do this without having proper training?
Exactly.
I mean, come on, people. But
and then there's you'll shoot your eye out.
And he did.
Yeah, he did.
He lied about it, but he did.
Right, which is on the way. Also, I kind of look at his father like, well, why didn't you go out there and make sure where he was putting the target, because he put it on a piece of metal,
right?
And that was automatically gonna bounce back.
Right. I agree. I feel like when I watched this movie, even as a kid, I think I felt this way because my parents were very much about gun safety and how to use it properly, and don't touch it if it ain't yours, kind of stuff. And my parents actually might be watching right now, so hello to them because I did send them a link. But I always thought, like, why? One, they should not have fully handed it over to him until they went over everything with him. And I get it. It ruins the story. I get it. It ruins whatever. But I did think, like, why didn't you, like, go out there or why did you should have waited to fully give it to him, but either do it right there and then and go over gun safety, or go over a few things to keep him safe,
Right. But then again, I mean, none of us were, I mean, obviously in this movie here, we're not really given a year. I think I've seen places where it kind of talks about like from 37 to 41.
1940, December 1940.
Okay, December 1940. So, I mean, I guess in a way, I mean, again, because I know there's a lot of things that I think about, like what my parents did in the 80s, going, God, why did they do that? Or why didn't they do this? Why didn't they go this way on this? Because because obviously something, as time goes on, we learn more, or learn more stuff. And maybe that's could be one of the things. Maybe dad figured, well, he did admit to knowing how to load it, which he did. He did it right there in front of his dad. So maybe he just felt he knew all the safety points. But again, I think I believe my dad would even went out in the yard to make sure I knew what the hell I was doing.
Yeah.
But
right.
Again, different parenting techniques for everybody.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
But like you said, I mean, yes, I did also grow up in a house that had firearms, and we were taught.
You were, don't touch it. It's not yours.
Right.
There was respect that was taught in a different way. And again, I, even as a kid, I can remember going, "You're not supposed to do that." Like in my mind, it was always there. Like I always knew. So even thankfully, because of the parenting that my parents did teach me, that when I did watch this movie, I never had that urge of going, "Oh, let me go get a BB gun like right now and play." No, and it was not for play. So I thankfully my parents also again put that in me, taught me that. So yeah.
One of the things I love about this movie is the going into the imagination. The daydreaming.
Yes.
And I mean, I don't know what kid, and matter of fact, I don't know it. I mean, there's days now Kim will be like, Scott, and freaking I finally come to because I've been daydreaming or something. And and I love the daydreams in this movie. I mean, from the point of using the Red Ryder BB gun to kill Black Bart's game.
To soap blindness.
Oh gosh, the soap blindness. But what the funny thing is how many times did you get grounded where you did dream up some type of, oh, they're gonna regret doing this to me. Yeah, exactly. We've all done it.
We have.
And so for that, it's just like one of those moments you're going, yep.
I just thought that was funny.
Yeah.
It was hilarious. Also, what I thought was funny was the fact that, after he said fudge, which was the F dash dash dash. It wasn't fudge, but it was the F dash dash dash. And his mom comes in, he's got the soap in his mouth and pulls it out. And where'd you hear that word? And of course, the narrator, that's older Alfie, is telling you, well, I could have easily just said, I've heard from my father thousands of times, but first thing that came out of my mouth was Schwartz.
Yeah.
Oh, poor Schwartz. Right. I felt so bad for Schwartz because he didn't do it and he got blamed.
Oh my gosh.
He had to deal with whatever punishment he had to deal with. Like, I'm surprised he didn't actually not unfriend Ralphie because he for something he didn't do.
Hey, Hector.
Man, I still, and in fact, actually, I sometimes wonder why the mom was like, why didn't she know? She had to know.
Well, that's what watching it this time. I said that to Kim when before we watched them back to back. We watched the original just to refresh memories, and we watched them back to back before we watched the second one. We were like, okay, or I should say, A Christmas Story, Christmas. We were talking about that, and I'm like, why? The mom knows the father cusses like a sailor.
Well, and then if you would have listened, as she was on the phone to Schwartz's mom.
Well, yeah, Schwartz's mom like, oh, he learned it from his father,
and she said no,
he learned it from your son.
Yeah.
And you hear,
Mom, what did I do? Oh my gosh.
That whole scene, man.
Right.
I sometimes wonder if he would have told the truth, how that would have been. But and it surprises me because Schwartz's mom was right. She just called the truth out, and I'm surprised it didn't stop Mrs. Parker to go, wait, you're right. You know what I mean? And then turn back around on her heel and be like, young man, tell me the truth. Did you hear that from your father? Like, we both know. Just tell me. Just tell me,
I think like from my mom, obviously the first time I said that word, I actually didn't learn from my parents. My parents actually did not cuss around us. I learned it from my uncle. Because he literally,
hey, uncle.
He popped up the middle finger and told my dad, F you, Bill. And so we got home from something, and my dad, I don't know what the hell was going on, but he pissed me off. I was like, fuck you, Bill. Yeah. Oh, God, did I get an ass kicking? Holy shit.
Woo! I can feel it right now for you.
Yeah. I learned real quick. Yeah, that was a real quick learning. But then again, the thing is, the mother hears the father all the time.
Yeah.
Right. She should have. Yeah.
I'm like, it's like my daughter, the first time she popped up the F word, I went, oh, damn, I guess we said it a few too many times around her. I already knew, like, it was both me and my ex, we both cussed like sailors, and I was like, well, shit, this isn't good. So I'm like, okay, whatever, but I knew it wasn't like I blamed her mom or her mom blamed me. It was like, yeah, we both say it.
Yeah.
It was bound to happen. She's going to say it, but then again, but yeah, it's like the mom, like, where'd you hear from me? He says Schwartz. I was, at that point, you're kind of almost waiting for her to go, are you sure? You're going to blame your friend?
And maybe I wonder if this has changed our perspective since we were kids versus now, because, I don't know if as a kid, maybe as a kid, I was like, you lied about Schwartz.
Right.
You know what I mean? Versus now, I'd be like, okay, mama, why didn't you call him out?
Yeah. Right. Exactly. But yeah. Amazing we didn't see like any or even hear from Schwartz what happened to him. We heard it. I think that's one thing I can say I was a little bit missing is like Schwartz the next day going, dude,
what the hell?
My mom just beat the living hell out of me, and I'm not even sure she's never really to say why, and Ralph just kind of going, oh, damn.
Well, I kind of wonder if it was done and then scrapped, because we know there are several deleted scenes that are long gone. One scene I would love to see that was done but cannot be found. I pray God they can find it. And that is, and there's even a little thing on the cover. Can y'all see that?
Oh yeah.
Flash Gordon. And there was a Flash Gordon scene done, and it was scrapped. They deleted it.
Man.
I would have loved to have seen it. I would love to see what this Flash Gordon scene looked like. Because Flash Gordon was of course would have been of that correct time period and things like that.
Right. So, which speaking of the correct time period, like him waiting for the decoder ring to show up.
Right. Hence yesterday I did the whole thing with Annie.
Which
I was like,
we need to do that one too.
Yes, we do.
Annie.
But waiting for the decoder ring to come in and finally get it, and then sitting there by the radio, gets okay, got to have this, and then gives all the numbers, runs straight for the restroom, shuts the door. Randy's wanting in, mom's yelling, "Oh, give me a minute!" Oh, and finally gets it decoded. Please, where's it? Drink
more Ovaltine. Yeah.
Son of a bitch. And I have to admit, in the book, when I got to that part, it is pretty almost word for word.
Right on.
It's awesome. I was just like, heck yeah. Even the bathroom where where Randy had to go use the bathroom and the mom yelling at him. I'm like, yes, I can't believe that the book lines up with the movie. I love it.
That is cool. That's awesome that they did that. But yeah, I mean, and I could think back. I don't remember a decoder. I remember getting something where you got something to decode and it was a freaking ad. Like, are you kidding me? This is not what I wanted.
It makes me wonder if it was the same thing because the Annie, secret society. It makes me wonder was it the same message every week because like.
Oh, that'd be.
They only showed us one.
Right.
So
right.
I just wonder. I wonder
now,
if there was.
I know I did a little bit of research, and the decoder ring was actually perfect for that time of the year, or for that year of 1940. However, it wouldn't have been sponsored by Ovaltine. It was actually sponsored by somebody else at that point. Ovaltine had already run there, but it's still cool that the decoder ring is actually, it's actually the real thing. So I mean, for them to find or make, get the props, more likely finding stuff. I mean, we're talking 80s. They didn't do a lot of building of props back then. They actually had them that they saved from, years gone by. So for a lot of those props to be in there is freaking awesome.
Well, and in the book, it's so interesting because he's like, we're not an Ovaltine drinking family. We eat oatmeal. And I was like, and so he talks about the Quaker oatmeal, but he had to kick the can. And one day he was playing kick the can coming home. And all of a sudden that's when he noticed the Ovaltine can so he could get it because his parents didn't buy it. And he didn't ask his parents to buy him Ovaltine. He's like, we're just not an Ovaltine drinking kind of family.
That is ironic because like my parents, I remember we had like Nestle Quick, even in the early or mid 70s or late 70s. But I had a friend who drank Ovaltine, and I went over and actually drank Ovaltine for the first time in my life, and I actually liked it.
It is. It's very good.
I actually like both, so it doesn't matter to me. But yeah, but yeah, I mean, it makes you wonder, like, was that what all they did back then with all that stuff? Here's send in this many things plus shipping and handling, because they always made you send in the shipping and handling.
Oh yeah,
you wait for it to come in, and they literally give you an ad every week.
Yeah,
I mean, at some point you got to be going, this is a ripoff.
Yeah.
Because I mean, kids aren't going to look like, oh, I'm going to hold on to this until I'm like 80 or 90 and then sell it. I mean, if I would have been that way, none of my stuff would have ever been opened.
Oh, that's true.
No, of course not. What do you do when you first get stuff? You open it up and play with it.
Exactly.
And then as time goes on.
Yes, and I'm like, man, should I just left it in the box?
Nah, that's the thing. It's like, like me, I mean, I buy these records, and I've bought original, 80 releases that have been sealed. And I unseal them. I don't care. I want to listen to them. I want to listen to them. I mean, one of my, I've got a lot of favorites, but probably my favorite grab so far has been Like a Virgin, True Blue, and Who's That Girl, all on LP. Yeah, but of course, trying to find their first one's a pain because now everybody's, let me jack that price up.
Yeah, exactly.
But anyways,
speaking though, you were mentioning props. This is not a prop, but another cool fun fact. But this also tells us the difference that life has gone through with Disney, the company. So they had, when they were doing the parade shoes, you could see several of the Disney characters in there. They forgot and did not get permission before doing that. But then they went to the Disney company at the time, and I don't know if it's 1980s. So that was during a change. So right before the dark era. They said okay. They thought it was a really cool idea. They loved it. Free advertising, man.
Exactly.
You could tell there was I'm like, that's a really cool fun fact. Like the fact that, but that also tells us how differently the company Disney has changed and how much has changed since Walt Disney himself, had it. He made things very, he wanted families to enjoy it. He wanted, everyday families, and that it just tells us how much business has changed. I'm like, man. I want that again.
Right.
Like,
I mean,
and sure they thought, oh, that's a really cute idea. Thank you. And,
right.
they
Or-
probably went back and did all their correct paperwork then, but at least they didn't like say scrap it.
Right. Exactly. But like you said, times have changed so much. Nowadays it would be it wouldn't be just scrap it, it'd be a lawsuit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
it would.
I mean, they're all happy to go sue each other real quick.
Yeah, they are.
Instead of thinking of the fact that, hey, guess what?
Free advertisement.
Is it? Thank you, Kim.
Free advertising.
Is that what it is? It's free advertising.
I mean, if you're a business, the biggest thing you want is to get your business out there.
Right.
How to get it out there? You let them use your business. Free advertising, word of mouth travels.
So
They'll want to go.
So speaking of businesses, Higbee's is actually real.
Yes,
Was real. It eventually turned into been bought out, I think, bought out by Dillard's. And then the actual one they used in the movie, actually, I mean, I saw it was like closed down in 2007. But just the fact that Higbee's was real, that when they got done after the shoot of this, they actually kept the slide in that Higbee's for a few years to continue using.
Right.
Which I was like, oh man, why couldn't we gone there?
Exactly.
Which I would have had no idea where there was, because heck, I didn't even know the house was real until you do some searching going, it's real? Oh, I gotta go visit it.
Yeah, exactly.
And they picked Higbee's because that it was open and they could use it.
Right.
And that was a big thing. But okay, so yes, the house is still there. The house is a museum.
Right.
Currently, if you're house hunting, wanting to look for a new career all at the same time, the House in A Christmas Story and the museum is currently for sale as we speak. Go look. It's there.
Actually in next door.
I was like, it was because I'm on their Facebook page and I've been following it. I've yet to go, but I've been following it for a while. And then all of a sudden, just a few weeks ago, they announced that they were going to sell it. And I'm like, who can't sell it?
Man.
I'm like, if I could afford it and I could start a whole new life, man. Could you imagine? Here's your house, here's your museum. Go to work.
Crud, I'd start a whole new podcast. A Christmas Story. Live from the house. Live from the house. Yeah, no, that'd be freaking cool. Holy crap.
I know. I'm like, I
definitely want to go see it though. I definitely one of these years when I ever make it back the other side of the country. That there's a lot of things. I mean, it's funny. I love all these people. Oh, I want to go to the Bahamas. I want to go this and that. And I'm just like, man, I want to go see the Grand Canyon. I want to go see Soldier Field. I got all these scenes where, or and Wrigley Field. I mean, yes. I'm already pissed. I was mad enough when we went to San Francisco one year for a vacation, and I couldn't talk my dad into going to Candlestick.
Yeah.
Well, but he's like, oh, well, we're going to go to a real stadium. I'm like, oh, yeah? What's that? Oakland Coliseum. I'm like, yeah, take your Raiders and shove them up your... Never mind. I didn't want to get in trouble. But, yeah, he's a Raiders fan, so it's like, I don't care. So, yes, technically, I've seen the Oakland Coliseum.
Whoop-de-doo.
That's how I feel about it still today. Don't care. Not my team. Even when I like the Ace for a bit, I don't care.
I'd like to go see Gillette Field.
Yeah, no, we're not going to Gillette Stadium. Sorry. That is not going to happen.
We will.
We'll be going, Ken.
No Patriot stuff allowed.
Bullcrap.
Yeah, I say that right. I say that, but a couple years ago when we first got like an Xbox, I bought her own special controller.
Yep.
Oh, that's nice. See, I'm a Bears girl, but yeah. I'll respect.
I mean, well, okay. So speaking of Bears,
don't even talk to me about the game. I don't even want. Oh man,
no, I'm talking about in the movie. I'm talking about in the movie when he talks about the terror of the Midway. The Chicago Bears miles should be more like chipmunks. And all I can think was, yeah, I gotta bring this up. I gotta
I
bring
knew
this up.
bro.
But I guess from what I understand, I guess the old man is a fan of the Bears.
He's also a fan, not of my Cubs, but of the White Sox in the book.
Okay. Cool.
I'm like, okay, I still like you.
But you know, it's kind of ironic. So this movie came out in 83, right? And
Mhm.
we think about it, 2 years later was the Super Bowl champion Bears.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I remember that era. I mean, I was
Next year in 2 years.
plus then again, I mean, for me, it wasn't about I think yeah, McMahon, okay, whatever. But for me, the guy I liked the most was the Fridge.
Fred.
I mean, Fridge and of course Sweetness, Walter
Sweet.
Payton. I mean, good Lord. I love watching that guy. I mean, there's guys, you know, I'm a football fan. I'm a Niners fan, but I'm a football fan.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I
And
remember
watching Walter Payton run, and then eventually, you know, Barry Sanders, and then of course Emmitt Smith.
Oh yeah.
You know, even though these guys are against, you know, a lot of times against my team, it's like you respect good players.
You do. You really do.
Now, the one player I did not give respect to while he was playing,
Yes, we know. If
can't-
you're going
Nicole
there.
don't know, so I'm just
Go
gonna
ahead.
say it was Jordan.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Wait, are we talking about my MJ?
yeah, we're talking about Michael.
23?
But the thing
Yeah.
was, after he retired, I actually respected him as a player. It's just I got tired of the wins.
Oh.
It's kind of like the
I
Patriots.
didn't.
No, I understand this. I understand this as a fan. It's just like with me with the Patriots. That's why I give
yeah.
her so much crap about the Patriots, because
Yeah.
it's like you guys want enough.
Well, we ain't
You know,
been back. We
and-
ain't been back since.
We're making up for it now. Thanks.
Yeah, you're welcome. But I mean, but the same theme was, you know, and I think for me, that's one thing I didn't do this time around. Like when Kobe came in, you know, Kobe Bryant was there. And I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to do like I did with MJ, because I did respect MJ. I mean, watching that man play, even against my team, I was like, you got like, whoa,
Yeah.
this guy he is special.
The Bulls definitely brought our families together. I know that. And we watched the games because it was so good. I mean, I'm an Illinois kid, grew up in Illinois. And we were, oh man. And I can remember, okay, here's the thing to relate to A Christmas Story, right? Because Ralphie always wanted to be on the end. He wanted to know the stuff and have stuff to talk about. Well, that's how it was. Like I can remember going to school and you had to watch the game in order to have conversations on Monday. You know, you had to know what happened in the game, because kids were talking about, you know, Scottie Pippen. They were talking about Michael Jordan. They were talking about whoever, whether it was the Suns or which of course at the time for us, we saw it as a rival. And it was just hot. We were like, you know, wearing our our Bulls gear and stuff. And it was, you had to know, just like in A Christmas Story, like, you know, Ralphie wanted to know that stuff. So
I'm going to say this much. For me personally, and this is just from an observation point of view, and the reason why I won't include Green Bay in this, because they only got one sport, is Chicago, when it comes to the Bulls, the Bears, the Cubs.
Yes.
And I'm going to go with those three because.
And the sky.
Okay, so she added some more. They are, I mean, that city is behind their teams.
They are. They are.
And I don't know of any other city that have multiple sports.
Yeah.
That I can say are really behind their teams.
Yeah.
I think Chicago has got the best fandom out there, and maybe the other one might be Philadelphia,
or like the state below us. I'm thinking of baseball and football now. I'm like, yeah, I've seen.
And I mean, I'm sure Lunar Girl will probably correct me on this, because but then again, I don't know, like with New York fans, because you know I don't know which side are, you know, like are the Giant fans the ones with the Yankees, or are they also with, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I know there's some White Sox fans in Chicago, but you hardly ever hear from them.
Yeah.
I hear more from Cub fans, Bear fans, and you know, yeah. So I mean,
Well,
Those
yeah.
are the fans I hear from the most. So
Yeah.
If Steve was on here, he'd be speaking up for his socks.
anyways, but for me, I think when it comes down to all sports, I think Chicago's probably got the best fandom.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just my opinion from looking afar off, because they seem to be the ones that really turn out. Again, I don't watch all the Philadelphia games and stuff, so I don't know. I know Yankee fans are way out there fanatic. You know, but then again, I mean, that's why it was called fandom, because we are all fanatics.
Yeah.
And sometimes we let that fanatic, we become a little overzealous in our
we do
fandom.
We do.
I.e. current Star Wars fans. I'm just joking.
I have a question for you guys.
Oh,
okay.
Okay. It's funny. We're probably not going to get to A Christmas Story
Christmas.
So
We might. I promise. I promise.
Okay.
Get this. The
Even we do, I don't care.
The old man. Do you guys know who was originally supposed to play the old man before Darren McGavin?
No.
You definitely know him. He's a very famous actor and went on to win an Oscar because he ended up doing Terms of Endearment instead of A Christmas Story. That is Jack Nicholson.
Oh, wow.
Can you guys imagine this movie with Jack Nicholson?
No.
He was, so the reason why they did not sign him on fully was because, and he was interested, was because his fee was too high. They didn't want to pay him what he was wanting to be paid extra. And they said, sorry. But obviously it worked out because we got Darren McGavin, which I thought was the perfect old man. And then obviously Jack Nicholson went on to get an Oscar.
Yeah.
It was a win-win situation.
Jack is Jack. I mean, for me, and I'll bring this up about Jack Nicholson. I know I've said it a few other times on the show, but one thing with Jack Nicholson is when I saw the trailer, I don't remember what movie I went to see, but I saw a movie, and then before the movie, they had the trailer for the new Batman, the 89 Batman. And I'm like, okay, Michael Keaton. Yeah, no, that's Beetlejuice. I don't see him as Bruce Wayne. But when they showed Jack Nicholson playing the Joker, I'm like, I want to see this movie. The minute Jack was named, shown in that trailer as Joker, I'm like, I want to go.
Yeah.
That is the reason why I went.
Exactly.
And for me, it ended up, I ended up liking Michael Keaton in it, which I was shocked because I had just seen Beetlejuice like 2 days before to go into this movie and seeing this trailer, and I'm like, what? No, not Beetlejuice.
Yeah.
But then again, it was also like thinking, like Tom Hanks' very first, drama movie, is like, no, that's the guy from Splash and
Big.
And Mr. Mom, or not Miss Mom, that's Keaton, but that's Big. What's the other one? The other one I'm thinking of.
Oh.
Volunteers.
Yeah.
Oh God, there's one more. Money Pit. But those guys, when they do that transition to serious roles, it's like that's when they're a great actor.
Well, yeah, because Tom Hanks played a great Robert Langdon in Angels and Demons, and
what are you talking about?
The books by Dan Brown that came to the silver screen.
No one cares about those movies.
I do.
Well, yeah, you don't count, see? You don't count.
Whatever.
Isn't it fun living in this house? Alrighty. Anyways, what else can we talk about A Christmas Story?
Whoa. Oh, he was a soap connoisseur.
Scott's like, I'm gonna use it. Nope.
Oh, yeah. So what was it? He like Paul Mauve.
Yeah, he did. Palm olive in the evening.
Had that good after dinner taste.
Yeah.
Oh. It's like running like near me right now, and he's that's Alfie.
Oh, that's Alfie right on. That's awesome. And what else, Kim? What else? Nicole, what else we got?
Well, we could segue over to A Christmas Story Christmas because
Yes.
we can talk about things that were actually alike.
That's true. So obviously we are in 1973
with the avocado
Oh God, don't remind me of this.
avocado department.
Okay. So we're gonna have to talk about it anyways because it was the 70s, and I remember that stuff. I remember in the 80s, my mom still having all of her damn Tupperware that looked like that crap. And I was like, just let me, M80 some of this stuff. She wouldn't let me, obviously, but obviously, we go to 1973. I'm born. I'm like 2 years old. What the fuck are they doing out there?
I don't know.
I was gonna say, I'm like, what's going on outside?
I don't know.
Like, is there something happening?
Yeah.
Let me go find out real fast.
All right, Kim's gonna go find out. I'll mute her mic. Hopefully I'll remember to unmute your mic when you come back.
Wouldn't it be fun if they're singing Christmas carols and then you guys hide just like in A Christmas Story Christmas?
Oh God, that was hilarious. Let's talk about the I guess the main thing, first part of it, is the fact that Ralphie's talking to the kids and his wife about grandma and grandpa coming.
Yeah.
For Christmas. And then he gets the phone call. Oh, don't unmute it yet? Oh, wait, sorry. Well, good. You just said that to everybody. Okay. She's gonna walk that way. Anyways, and he gets a phone call from mom. Which boom, as soon as the call came in, I already knew what it was gonna be.
My heart, yeah. Right. My heart dropped.
And he found out that his father passed away. And this is really before I knew. I mean, I saw obviously the name Julie Haggerty come across the screen as the opening credits and stuff. Like, I didn't realize what, I'm not really looking at names. I'm just waiting for this, everything to get going. And yeah, my heart dropped because, I mean, obviously most of us, especially now us, our parents are in that older generation now. And that phone, we know that because again, tomorrow's never guaranteed. We know that phone call is coming any moment. I mean, most of us have our phones ready to go just in case we do get that call, expecting it and whatnot, but it's still going to hurt. And yeah, it was definitely because you're like, oh, damn, really?
I know.
No,
I know.
No. And so at that point, the plan is put in motion for Ralphie to return home. But he's also he's taking a year off, we find out.
Okay.
His wife is giving him a year to write to get his novel published. His 2,000-page space odyssey, a science fiction book. What was it called? Neptune. Oh, I knew I'd forget. Neptune something. You got it, don't you?
Actually, I don't. It's the one thing I didn't mark. I have all these notes. I have the cast. I've got other little things, tidbits. That I was like, oh, got to remember that. Oh, I got to remember that. So.
Right. All right. I'll find it because I'm sure it's here somewhere on. Oh gosh, I would remember it, but oh well.
Oh,
it happens.
Yeah. While you're looking that up, yes, the furnace, Ubaldo. That. Yes. We had the furnace from the original, but in yeah, the funny thing with the furnace, which we kind of talked about, I guess, in the sense with the soap in the mouth, because
but we didn't talk. I mean, okay, first of all, let's rewind just a little bit back to it, Chris, where you Baldo brought it up perfect. The furnace, the fact that the dad goes down there, and the fact that the actor did a really good job of not actually cussing. That Darren did such a great job that he actually didn't cuss, which I actually found out was, and I was looking through the other one real quick. I did see a thing I was going to bring up that he actually talked about it, where they told him what they needed, and he knew that he couldn't. He knew how to speak gibberish. So that is all ad-libbed.
I'm
And
here. I just got it.
okay.
Oh, I'm here. I just have a cat who's being a little naughty right now.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Not like it.
But-
Yeah.
So he actually spoke gibberish, which is what they recorded, which is freaking awesome. Because he said he couldn't do an angry rant without cursing.
Yeah.
Which I think it's freaking hilarious.
Yeah.
But yeah, thanks for bringing that up, Baldo. I mean, that's the problem when you're trying to do 2 movies at once.
Yeah.
You know, something's always going to get left on the cutting room floor.
But the good news is that we have a lot of them that are the same. And
Yes.
that's so cool. There's a lot of things that are the same. And I like that. Like they kind of redid it a little bit and mirrored it in a new way.
All right, well, they don't have it on IMDb, so that's funny.
What?
The name of the book. You remember the name of the book Rafi was writing? Neptune.
And something, but we can't remember beyond that.
Oh.
All right, quit thinking about Kim.
Works of Neptune or something. Something like that. I can't completely remember.
Don't you got it? I'm looking it up myself.
No, I'm paying attention to the chat here.
Oh,
I definitely appreciated that majority of the original cast came back.
Yes.
heck
I
yes.
love that part.
All but one. Well, a couple new ones for Sandy, as
Right.
well as Mark and Julie. However, the big change in the cast, of course, was for the mom, and that was now Julie Haggerty took over for Mrs. Parker.
right, because Melinda Dillon actually retired from acting in 2007.
I would have loved to.
17, I think. Somewhere in there.
I wonder if they even asked her. Like, it makes me curious if they asked her, "Hey, would you be willing to come out of retirement to do this?"
Well, I think on the 35th anniversary, I know she got together with like Peter Billingsley and some of the other original cast members for a retrospect, look back at. And so I'm wondering if he might have called her up and asked.
Because him and Vince Vaughn were two of the executive producers
Right.
on Christmas Story Christmas.
So I'm wondering, I mean, even though it hasn't come out, I'm thinking that Peter Billingsley more than likely did call her and ask, would you be willing to come out of retirement for this?
Right.
Yeah.
And maybe she's like, no, and again, I mean, she's 83 right now, so we don't know what kind of, exactly her health, what her health is. And maybe she, and she just felt that at the current time, it may not be best for her. I don't know. I mean, again, I'm speculating we haven't heard anything from either Peter or Melinda why she wasn't in this. So, I mean,
definitely, but I did enjoy Julie Haggerty's take on Mrs. Parker.
Yes.
I'm glad she didn't try to be her how Melinda was originally. I'm glad she just brought her own quirks and uniqueness to Mrs. Parker.
right. And for those that don't know, Julie Haggerty, obviously best known for her roles in Airplane.
Yes.
Airplane 2, the sequel. But yeah, and yeah, in case anybody doesn't remember those movies, one of my favorite scenes is when the autopilot goes flat.
Yeah, and mine's
we're talking about Airplane. I'm like, wait.
yeah, and mine is Don't Call Me Shirley.
Don't call me Shirley.
Go ahead. So we just talked about the getting the phone call.
Well, yeah, some of us don't expect it as early as it came.
Yeah, no one.
Okay.
Let me elaborate.
No, yeah, let's go ahead, because that's the one thing too is this is Kim's first Christmas
without my dad.
Because everybody knows. I mean, we went to the funeral back in May.
And so when that phone call came in to Ralphie, I knew what he was feeling. I knew what that phone call was. And and so every once in a while there's movies that we're watching that really just floods the memories, and I just start breaking down.
It hit me differently. I mean, in the regards of I wasn't thinking necessarily about my because I still have my parents, but I was thinking about my grandma a little bit. So I know what you're saying, that in that sense, but I just want to give you a hug now.
So one thing that happened is, obviously, I was pausing the movie a lot. Every time she had a moment, I'd pause, I'd hold her. Obviously, I went through this 8 years ago with the loss of her sister. And, again, when you want to know our backstory, go to Comics and Cosmetics and watch the Sunday show.
Oh my gosh, I'm still so excited that I got to be there live listening to this story.
Kim reminded me that we probably talked about it multiple times on the show, but the fact that we hadn't done it since we probably joined the Red 5 network.
Yeah.
And so.
Okay, we've got people cutting pieces of fiberglass there. We've got a motorcycle going here.
Welcome to the fucking neighborhood.
In the neighborhood.
Damn. But so when we got to that part where, obviously, I'm going to kind of jump this real quick. When Ralphie's mom, played by Julie Haggerty, is talking to Ralphie outside, and he's like, I don't know how Dad did it, because she's wanting to keep it Christmas normal, and Christmas like he did. And what was her line? Oh, I can't remember the line now. But anyways, I paused it and I looked at her. I grabbed her hand and I said, that is your dad talking.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That is your dad talking, because her dad loved Christmas just as much.
Oh, yeah.
I felt like when she said that, I thought it was also something for her as a way to cope.
Right.
It was her coping mechanism. I noticed since my grandma has passed, while my grandfather hasn't been really big into Thanksgiving, he loves Christmas and he wants to still celebrate Christmas. And I'm like, all right, let's go. Like, you want to do this? Okay. And there is something about it. And maybe it's a coping mechanism. I'm not sure. But again, that moment really in the movie definitely touched me.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, again, like I said, there's a lot of points where we were pausing the movie. It probably, I don't know. I look at the timing. We went with it, paused. I coped with, helped Kim through whatever she needed help with at that time. I mean, again, I knew this was going to happen because I knew this is the first Christmas we're dealing without her dad being there. And so this is one of those things where I know there's going to be certain movies where stuff's going to trigger her, and it's going to happen, but we made it through.
We did.
Right?
We did. We made it through.
And, I mean, I guess what we should have done before we started even talking about the movie, I mean, obviously we've all got high ratings of the original.
Yes. Oh, I love the Christmas Story Christmas.
Yeah, I loved them both. I could easily do a double feature and watch them. They were great. I love it.
I love that you say that, because the thing I told Kim after we were done watching them both is I could watch this first one and then the second one back to back every year. This is going to be a new Christmas tradition.
Yes, it is.
Yep.
I mean, we've got our movies we watch, and Christmas Story is one of them. But now it's like, okay, now this one is included, because I felt, again, I can't knock. I've not seen any other of the directed video movies. Christmas Story 2. I've not seen any of those, so I can't really talk about those because I've never seen them. But for this one,
I would recommend that I have watched that I actually enjoyed, and that is the one I just watched today, and that was the PBS 1970s one of Phantom of the Hearth. And I was just like, because Gene Shepherd is back. Gene Shepherd actually was the voice, the narrator in the original. Right. He's just got this, again, I love her personality. So he, having that voice come in, and you're watching this and you're like, this isn't a Christmas story, but it's so good. And you can see the same things and see the differences between the Christmas Story and what ended up being the movie in 1983. And it's just really interesting.
Now, one of the things I loved about this was, you had the old man fighting the furnace. And then this one, Ralphie's fighting his car radiator.
Well, remember though, they also had car trouble in the first one. So that's something that mirrors each other.
Yeah, they had the blown tire.
And I loved the fact that they got out and had a snowball fight. They had fun. I was like, yeah, baby.
Right. And of course, having the snowball fight, eventually the wife gets out, his wife gets out, and her and the son team up against Ralphie and his daughter, and everything's going good. And he's about ready to peg his son, and all of a sudden his daughter just jumps up on this friggin' tree stump, and he lets go of this snowball, pegs her right in the eye.
And then she comes out of the emergency room down the elevator. I'm Cyclops.
Okay, I love that little girl.
I did
And
too.
the real reason why I love that little girl was one, and we kind of jumped over it, but we go back to Higbee's.
Yeah. Yes.
They get to stand in line just like Ralphie and Randy did. And they finally get up to the top. I really didn't focus on the son, but the daughter gets up there. And her third degree on Santa Claus. Oh my gosh, it made me smile.
And then to get the end, answer me this: angel or star for Christmas?
Oh my gosh. If we knew what was gonna happen, oh man, now we're always gonna be giggling when we get to that scene.
Right?
Because now we know what he's gotta do, what he ends up doing.
Yeah. But
Hilarious.
yes.
And then the part where the triple double dog dare.
Okay.
Video.
Yes, we get to another triple dog dare because this time Schwartz has a big tab. Flick is inherited the bar that his father had. And so now Flick's the bartender and Nicole's raising her hand. Go for it.
Okay. So fun. Okay. I'm just so excited. So when I opened up this book after this weekend, I've already watched A Christmas Story Christmas. Okay. I'm so excited about this, about what we're about to talk about, because it says, the first line, the first chapter says, we meet Flick, the friendly bartender. So in this book, that is from 1960. Hold up. Now remember, it came out in Playboy first in 1964 in little short stories. So this came out originally in 1966. Flick was an adult. He was a bartender. So he looked back on them. So even in this book, I love it. I love that they kept Flick a bartender and they kept Flick with his dad's bar. I'm so glad they kept that from how the book was. Like, I literally started reading. I felt like I was watching the movie in my brain. I was like, it was going back and forth between the two movies, by the way. And I'm like Ralphie, like you, I'm a dreamer and I'm a visionary. And I was just like I could just see everything that was happening in the movie as I was reading. And then it would be funny because then all of a sudden I would switch to to a regular Christmas story, but then we would come back to the adult stuff. I don't know what my brain's going to do the next time when I'm watching it, because now that I know that there's prom in the PBS one.
Yeah.
I don't know, but yeah.
Okay, so I have a special question to ask you then, because of being a dreamer, right? Do you ever have those moments of like deja vu?
Yes.
Okay. I do too. I'm like, there's things where I'm like, wait a minute, why does this all feel the same? I have a lot of moments of deja vu, and I'm trying to remember, and most of the time it's because I dreamt about it.
Mm-hmm.
It's like,
I was a big daydreamer as a kid. I could easily go into my room, not do anything for hours, and just daydream and wonder and dream and think. And I'm a Ralphie in girl form. I really am. I could just, create visions.
And so speaking of that, that's another element added back into this movie. Is Ralphie daydreaming. Okay, so we didn't really talk about it. He goes to one publisher and he puts up, if you guys remember, he gave the teacher the big old friggin' fruit basket. And so he puts up something on the deal, and of course
it's chocolate.
It's chocolate. And the guy's like, are you trying to bribe me? And Rob's like, oh,
Wow.
And then the guy opens the drawer, and there's all these other bribes he's gotten from other writers.
Which is a throwback to the teacher's drawer, which she takes the teeth from all the kids and went.
And so then at one point there was when he's back in his hometown, he calls his agent He says, well, I sent a fruit basket to such and such, which was a throwback to talking about what he did with his teacher. But I love that we're back with the flashbacks or the daydreaming. I love it.
Yeah,
because that is what makes this movie also fun, is these daydreams. Because one, we, even if you don't daydream anymore, it still flows you back to your childhood. But I mean, for those of us that still do it, that are, I mean, and I know she does, because when, it's just like, her doing it to me, it's like, Kim, Kim,
yeah,
Kim,
yeah,
Earth to Kim,
yeah.
And I realized that, yeah, exactly, and it's fun. I mean,
yeah,
I'm glad they included included the daydreams back, because
some
of them are hilarious, like the snowball fight.
Just like him in this. I mean, he's telling about it. It's just, I love it. I love that.
Well, we have that the one daydream where he's dreaming of his family doing the snowball fight with Black Bart. Against them again, which was hilarious. And of course, Rowley takes a shot because of a snowball, and like, what? A snowball? But it's still funny. And then
what?
My brain just went blank.
Back to the triple dog?
Yeah, let's go back to triple dog. You brought it up, Kim.
I just where he says well, first they're in the bar, and Flick says, I'll erase your tab if you go and
on the ramp.
Well, he thinks about it. No. Then comes the dare.
But no, we never got any dares.
Yeah.
Because Flick's like, hey, do the ramp. And he's like, no, I'll erase your debt.
Your tab
debt. Which he's shown this. I mean, obviously there's all these beers, so we don't know how many is there, but it's a friggin' stack of tab that Swartz owes him. So Swartz is like, okay.
Yeah.
So they leave. Everyone leaves the bar. Puts up a sign at the ramp. Be back in 20 minutes.
Oh, I thought that was hilarious. How he left the sign for closed for this. And I'm like, really?
Right. And then we get there, and now everybody's watching it. And again, that's the one thing like I tried to do, and you know what we forgot to do? We forgot to warn anybody about spoilers. Sorry, spoilers, but
it's a Christmas.
Exactly.
And then Flick turns to Ralphie and says he'll chicken out.
Yeah, right. He's like, he'll chicken out, and he's actually starting to chicken out, and then Flick just I mean, no start of any of the dares.
No.
Boom, triple dog dare.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
oh.
I'm like, okay, we're not even doing the little baby steps one. We're screw this.
Right to the mother.
Screw this. I'm Flick. I want revenge for the tongue incident. I mean, literally, even Ralphie narrating this mentions the tongue incident. And it's like, wow.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh. And he's like, I was really shocked that he didn't include like an ambulance ride to the hospital in a body cast. I was expecting that.
Yeah, and that was actually the start of the whole funny sequence, because then you got him saying, people, barflies and sleds, and here they all go down the thing.
Oh yeah, all the rest of the drunks now are getting on the sled, still in the sled.
I could not believe it. I'm like, are you kidding me? Y'all crazy.
So of course, then his son grabs the sled, goes down. Ralphie's son slams into a car, breaks his arm, which we don't know it's broken yet, because then we see Ralphie go back. Oh, he's laying down next to his wife at night.
And all she can say is, "How did it go with Ralphie? Pretty good."
Not Ralphie.
How did it go?
And he goes, really good. Oh, by the way, our son has a broken arm.
Her eyes pop.
Which, of course, I'm thinking from a man's point of view. Yeah, I could just imagine walking there nonchalantly, laying down, going, oh, yeah, we had a great time. And by the way, our son's arm broke. Good night. Yeah. And going, fuck.
So not only did the daughter have being Cyclops, but then the son broke the arm.
Right. And like, again, you pulled it straight to triple dare. Exactly. I mean, triple dog dare. We're not fucking around. I mean, obviously, we're adults now. We're not screwing around with the dare, double dog dare. Where, screw you. Triple dog dare.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh God. Oh Lord. But
that was funny. But
this whole movie was fun. I mean,
it was.
It reminded, while it was, you had a few moments of sadness. Yes, the old man's gone, but the throwbacks, Ralphie looking at his hat, Ralphie's mom asking him to write the obituary,
and that pink bunny suit haunting him again.
Okay, you had to know when we went in the attic that up there somewhere was going to be that friggin' pink bunny suit. As soon as I saw that. Oh, and the lampshade. Now again, we all know from the original, Ralphie mentions it, that the old man went and took it out to bury it,
and he thought he heard taps
playing, right? But the thing is, I said this. I said, remember, he didn't have the shade.
No,
he didn't have the shade. Didn't have the lampshade. And sure enough, the lampshade's up there. And yeah, as soon as I saw the white box, I went, oh yeah, I know what this is.
Pink bunny suits made a return.
So this is so interesting. So I have to compare the book to the series. In the book, it's not a full suit. It's just pink bunny slippers.
Oh.
I want to know who decided that it's going to be full body now.
Right?
Or was this a nod to Playboy? Because
well, the thing is, if you look at the original, what do you call it? Poster, the theatrical poster, the poster for it, it's white. It's not even pink.
It's not even pink. It's white.
Right. I noticed that when because like I said, I used it for the beginning of the thing, and when I saw that pile up, I went,
yeah,
crap, it's white. It's not even pink.
Yeah.
So for it to be pink in the movie, yeah, I mean, it's like one of those things like, and of course, I haven't watched DVD commentary or even Blu-ray commentary for years, so that'd probably be something I need to check out again. I will say, okay, I'm one of those weird ones where if it's got the commentary from the director and some of the actors, I will watch it with it. I will actually go back.
What they have to say.
Right. And you learn a lot of times, you learn a lot of stuff about what went on. But yeah, I would like to know who made that change from the slippers to straight friggin' pink bunny suit.
Yeah.
But
also,
yeah.
Go ahead.
Well, Kim brought up the fact that Ralphie, even in his narration, mentions it haunts me again. It's like he can't get away from this damn suit.
Yep.
Which so this is the one thing and I'm going to bump ahead real quick to Christmas. I was kind of hoping there was still another package from Aunt Clara to Ralphie.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, that would have been hilarious.
I was really hoping for that. And the fact that now he is an adult, now he has an adult side version of it. Yeah. And mom's still wanting him to try it on. But that was, I mean, again, that's one of those things where it's kind of like, okay, do you do that for the Easter egg of, because they already gave us the Easter egg of the original one being pretty much the original one being there. So do you do it for fan service, which honestly, I will give them a lot of credit. They could have easily, I mean, Peter and them, they really did a great job on this movie because
the original
a lot of these people, they could have easily, a lot of these movies, they automatically go fan service, and give you sometimes too much fan service. And this was perfect.
It was absolutely perfect.
There was always and of course, I love when we did the throwbacks to something happened in the past. We used the actual footage from the movie.
Yes.
We didn't get like a new scene reshot or a different angle. It was just a boom, take the original scene from the movie, from the original movie.
I was my mind. So the whole thing with the casseroles, Miss Parker, she got all the casseroles. And okay, so I have a couple of thoughts on here because I've been doing a lot more history digging. So one, I assume that this is a nod with all the casseroles and having to eat them all is probably one that's probably an original nod to the original movie when she would try to get Randy to eat his food. Am I correct? Would you guys agree?
Yes.
Yeah. So, but then I don't know. I just started thinking outside the box and went, what is this lady's deal? Because it's in both this and this and this. And then I decided to do some research and went, she would have been a Great Depression baby or Great Depression child. So that there is still this element from her, not only in the first movie, but then in this other movie where, because even my own grandpa, who would have been about the same age, where I can see where he, eat everything off her plate and things like that, because that's what they had. It's what you were given. Because, and then of course with World War II, of course, then you had to deal with the, the rations and things. So I assume that probably then went from, not only did she have to reuse all of her Great Depression stuff again, but then she had to re-hardwire all that back again for during World War II. And that's probably why she's like, no, we got to eat all these up. No, don't care if you don't like it. Got to eat it.
And no turkey till the casseroles are gone.
God, right.
Well, and then I'm like, ooh, casserole? What kind of casserole? Because I'm like all excited. And then I started thinking, they did a lot of crazy casseroles back then. They didn't just do like a casserole, like yummy goodness, comforting here now. They had different ones then.
Right. So real quick, talking about the casseroles on IM with DB or BD, under the trivia section, the casseroles in the fridge are marked with the names of the families that made them. These are full of deep dive Easter eggs of characters mentioned in the original film, Shepard's other Ralphie stories, and the filmmakers. Interestingly, there are two from Ralphie's teacher, as she has a different name in the book.
Interesting.
That's kind of cool. That's cool. I mean, that's like, wow.
I love that fun fact. That's great. Yeah. I love that's wow. Okay. I love that.
Which they actually, I did read where they did actually ask the actress to play Miss Shields to come back into this movie. She declined. Which is a bummer.
Yeah.
But I mean, again, we're talking some of these actors and actresses. I mean, some of them are older, you know, and a lot of them have gotten out of the business by now. I mean, a lot of them just don't want to deal with it.
So I have a question though. How did you guys feel about Randy and how they used his storylines? What were your thoughts?
So I paused it in the middle of the original movie, and I really never put any thought of this until I knew we were watching a kind of a real sequel to A Christmas Story. Okay. And I'm looking at, and I look at Kim, and of course, get the part where he's playing with his food. Dad's, I'll give you something that, and then of course, Mom's like, "Oh, Randy, what do the little piggies do?" Oink, oink, yeah. And how do they eat? And, right. But when he's playing with the food, I'm like, he should be a sculptor or an artist, some type of artist when he's an adult. But where it wasn't really a payoff in the Christmas Story of Christmas, I didn't get mad. I was just kind of like, for me, I looked at Ralphie was definitely like the old man's, that was at least what we're seeing from the first movie. He's more of, the old man's kid. I mean, he wants to do what Dad does. He wants to follow Dad. He wants to do things with, when Dad goes out to change the tire, and his mom's like, "Why don't you go help your father?" Really? He's excited. He wants to go help. And when he loses the nuts, he's just like his father. Oh, fudge, which we know was the F dash dash dash. And Randy, I felt, was more of like Mama's boy. He was always attached to Mom. Did things for like when he's underneath the cover, Daddy's gonna kill Ralphie. No, he's not gonna kill Ralphie. And so I really thought Randy would have already been there. That maybe even the phone call would have been Randy calling Ralphie, not. Oh, good point. But that's how I thought of it. But again, I was bummed that he wasn't there until Christmas Day.
Right. I think that's the one thing I was kind of bummed on was I'm like, Like I would expect that Randy would be more involved.
Right.
Again, now I'm still finishing this book up, and I'll get to more here when we get to it. But I don't know. I don't know. What did you think, Kim? Because I was just like, it's like I really love this movie, and I really don't mind that they put him in India. I don't really mind that he got to live out his dreams. But it's like it was a little bit of a misconnect. I don't know. I don't.
Well, I liked it. I just, I mean, it showed the differences between the two brothers. I mean, like you said, one was living his dream in India and the other was struggling with the family to become a writer. And so I wish there was a little more of Randy, but again, it didn't bother me that there wasn't. But the interesting thing that I thought of is, was it the original actor that just wanted that small cameo?
Oh,
because he had other things going at the time, or didn't want to revive the role of the younger brother Randy.
I hadn't thought.
Yeah, I mean, exactly what she said to me after we got done talking. Like, it's kind of like, oh man, it kind of missed an opportunity. But then she brought that up and went, oh yeah, I didn't think of that way.
Right. So they just kind of made the most of it. It's possible. And maybe they just made the most of it so that they could include him. I mean, again, and it's the original that came back. So kudos. I mean, again, most of this was original, including the bully.
Okay, so let's talk about Scott Fargus.
I know you guys had me laughing. Because I was laughing.
All right, first, but here's what I want to know. When the two kids were terrorizing the neighborhood on a snowmobile, did you automatically think Scott Fargus' kid?
I was not even thinking about it. Nope.
She did. I thought maybe, but I'm like, oh no, that's stretching it. That's stretching it too far. I'm like, no, that's too obvious. And then of course we're jumping here. The star falls and breaks on the tree Christmas Eve night.
Yes.
Ralphie has already told his daughter that earlier that if it doesn't have a star, Santa will not stop. And of course, that shit always comes back and bite you, Dad. Believe me, I should know. I said things to my kids that went, yep, it came back and bit me right in the ass. And now you're trying to paint around it because you started something you shouldn't have. And of course, he decides he's going to go find a star. Again, we're in 1973. This is not 2022 where you can just go out to any other local Walmart, more likely it's still open on Christmas Eve, and pick up a friggin' star.
Nope, he found one.
Where did he find it, Kim?
He found it at Flint's Tavern and broke into it.
But he knew, and he left Flint.
Right.
No, I will take care of this for you.
Right.
Don't
I
worry.
will pay for your window because you broke the window. And of course, he comes out, and the first thing is, as he's coming out, I'm like, I bet you $5 there's a cop there. Not thinking the cop was going to be someone he knew.
Oh man. When that shot hit, I was just like jaw dropped, and then I just started laughing.
Right. And so Ralphie gets arrested by Scott Fargus, S. Fargus. He was a cop now. Officer Scott Fargus. Right. And of course, what do we get? We get flashbacks. We get the daydreaming again of, oh crap, he's gonna do this to me and this to me, and and actually the part I love about this was he blends him in from being a cop to the bully version of Scott from the original movie with Grover Dill being by him, and her at the end of the movie she's like, was that the same actor that played Grover in the original? Like, I don't know. So I, of course, went and looked it up, and Nicole just said it. Yes, it was the original actor that played Grover, which I'm happy for because, again, it's one of those things where, yes, they're the main people we remember. Yeah, I mean, many people remember are coming back. You know, even for us, a real quick thing like that one with him hitting Scott, and then Scott turning around, him, ow, you know, reprising, you know, give us that one again, you know, which is great. So I love that part where Ralphie's like, we're going by the police station. And Scott actually he takes him home.
Yeah, he does.
Takes him to his house.
I'm not gonna lie to you guys. For me, that was a big development. Well, I thought it was a big character development moment for his character, because for Scott's character, because it was important, I think, for him to grow as a character. So I was like, oh yes. And then it's like he avenged himself, and I was like, oh yes. Although his kids are still terrorists, and he really needs to go home and you know,
which is funny because you hear, you know, he actually mentions his kids are worse than he was, but they're running around on a snowmobile, and you're like, and of course, you're like, yeah, freaking hot, should have known better. But
yeah,
and we didn't talk about like Ralphie, you know, get his kids to stand up to them.
Oh, that was hilarious.
Oh yeah, you didn't know what the hell they were doing. And it kind of reminded me a little bit. Okay, so that scene a little bit when they're like sitting there giggling, it was like, oh, that kind of gives me a Cat in the Hat vibe. You know,
yeah.
You know, the brother and sister watching out the window, waiting for the day to stop raining, and they're just giggling. What are you two up to? Oh, nothing, Dad. And of course, Ralphie, like, you know, the narrate, and you know that is not, you know, something's up at that point. And sure enough, here they come, crash. Everybody goes running outside. They hit the snowman, but the snowman's bottom was made around a tree stump.
Oh my gosh, genius. I love this. Genius.
And then, of course, the kids, our dad's gonna kill us.
Oh, just like the original. Yeah.
Yeah, you know, our dad's gonna kill it. You know, the two brothers that are Scott's freaking kids are like, our dad's gonna kill us for killing the snowmobile. And of course, we forgot to mention the next door neighbor, Bumpus, is still there.
Yeah.
And of course, they have their dogs still. But we actually finally get to meet one of them. And we've never met them in any of the other movies that I know of, or the other movie. You know, in the '83 movie, we never met him. All we, you know, Bumpus is your taking dogs.
I like how she blackmailed him to get a radiator.
Well, yes, I loved that. That was hilarious. And then I like how they ended up kind of becoming friends in a way.
Yeah.
But I was waiting for her to be like, I want the puppy. But she didn't go for the puppy. She went for the radiator.
Yeah. I mean, I loved the part was after she went through that whole third degree on Santa Claus, and she said, whispered in his ear two things. And he's like, I can get the one, but you're gonna have to get the other. And he puts her down, and he's like, well, what'd she ask for? And it's like a 1967 radiator for this vehicle. Damn. And so then she blackmails Bumpus' kid into, you know, I'll give you your dog back, your puppy back, if you can pretty much have this radiator. Which, you know, I mean, I think at that point we're all kind of going, yeah, I didn't see that coming. Oh, hey, Dad, we, you know, at the end, which again is a throwback to the original, where, you know, after Christmas is done with the presents, Randy's snoozing and whatnot, and the old man is like, hey, what's that? What's that behind the desk?
Yeah.
You know, and of course the mom's like, oh, Santa must have left it. But the daughter's like, oh, Dad, I got you something. And you're like, what could she have gotten him? And here she comes out with the friggin' radiator. Like, what?
And then she said how she got it, and all the grandma can do is, that's my
girl. The other thing, I don't know if you guys caught this. The one thing I loved was the two kids when the turkey's sitting there on the table.
Yes,
they reminded me of Grandpa.
They did. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love how they did that perfect visually.
Yeah. And there was a lot of things. Again, you brought up we were talking about the carolers earlier. Ralphie and his mom hit the deck, and his wife is like,
"Wait, I'm a caroler, but I'm a caroler."
Oh gosh, right?
How could you?
Right? Hey, Steve. Speaking of, what time is it?
6:25. We're still got a few minutes.
Okay. Well, I mean,
we
don't want you late for your own show.
Oh, we'll be good. We're still good.
Okay.
I mean, I'm already all set up, so we're good.
Okay. But yeah, I mean, again, for me, this is perfect. This is a 1-2 punch. It should be everybody's friggin' go-to every Christmas now. If you like the first one, you should like this one.
Yeah. Well, and the other part I liked too is when he called and nobody wanted his Neptune book or whatever. He threw it in the trash.
He never could find the name of that.
Yeah. And he told his wife that a deal's a deal. I'll be going back to work. And his wife's, and then he goes out to check the mail and the neighbors come out. Good story. So he opens it up and there's a story of his old man that he wrote.
Okay. So he writes the obituary, but he just leaves it there because it's not long. Well, all of a sudden you're right. So he's taking the trash out. Like you said, there's this manuscript that he threw away.
Yeah.
Of his books, 2 books that he was working on.
Yeah.
And you're right. The neighbor's like, "Oh, nice, great story, Ralph."
Yeah.
Like, and so he opens up the mailbox. There's the newspaper.
Yeah.
All of a sudden,
this moment. Okay, so so this whole thing with the book publishing thing. From the beginning, I kind of was expecting that they were going to bring up this. I was waiting for it. I was waiting. So when they ended up doing the obituary in the newspaper, instead, like, I loved it, but I was just like, I thought they were going to go, "But here's your book." And it also reminds me a little bit of Louisa Alcott's book, Little Women, because she wrote little short stories about her sisters. And obviously that's how we got Little Women. And so I kind of was just like, oh, I thought they were going to go for it. I thought they were going to go with the book versus the newspaper. But I mean, I still loved it, but I was just surprised that they didn't go, "Oh, but here's your book." You know what I mean? Or here's what can be the next step.
But I liked it that it was included as the story in the newspaper.
Yes.
Because when his, eventually to the point where he wants, or mom wants him to read it. I want to hear it from my writer's son.
Yeah.
And he starts reading it. I'm like, wait a minute. I've heard the beginning of this somewhere before.
Yeah. And then,
hey, that's my dad.
Your dad's in there?
My dad's there. That's Kenny. My dad's Kenny.
Hi, Kenny.
Everyone say hi to Kenny. By the way, Dad, Steve is my co-host at Rogue One Radio, who's in the chat also.
The Rogue One Radio is the co-host, Steve.
Yeah, well, the creator of Rogue One Radio.
Yeah.
Welcome, Kenny.
Yeah, I said hello, Kenny. So,
and by the way, you missed all your shout outs, by the way. You'll have to go back and rewatch now. Anyways.
Exactly. But that's the one thing I loved. I mean, I actually wasn't too upset that Ralphie was writing a different book.
Mm-hmm.
I liked that I didn't expect it. It didn't even dawn on me. And then when he started reading it, I'm like, okay, wait, I've heard this before. And then as he's reading it, they're peeling away. And then eventually it crosses into the original movie with the original narrator who was Gene Shepherd.
Oh my God. I melted at that moment. I was just like, I'm a pile just goo, because I was just so like excited and happy and sad all at the same time.
Right. And to bring up another fun fact or trivia from IMDb or BD. I think I say DB because of DB, Dragon Bunny. But Peter Billingsley played Ralphie, deliberately adjusted his voice to sound closer to Gene Shepherd, who did the narration as adult Ralphie in the 1983 original. And that was the thing, was I'm like, is this Peter talking, or I'm like,
was,
I
right, because
was torn.
Jean passed away, I think, in the 90s.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. But,
so I love that. I love all the nods also to the author, which I have to bring up because that was a beautiful nod to the author. In the tavern, if you watch closely, the next time you watch, look at the walls because you can see the in God We Trust on Flint's wall.
right.
It's included inside the tavern, which I loved.
Now, see, I didn't know that until when you popped that up. I went, oh, okay. There, I don't know if you.
I caught it. Yeah.
I mean, I caught the sign in the show, in the movie, but I didn't know. Like, okay, obviously.
Well, I knew it had to be a book because if you read the beginning, it says based on the book that she's got. Yeah, based on that book.
Based off the book that was based off the articles from Playboy, 1960. Yeah.
It's crazy.
I can't help it to be like.
I mean, the thing, and of course, can you imagine trying to go find those? I mean, literally go find those Playboys just for having the stories in them. I mean, those things. People who realize that they have that now are going to be realizing they've got a gold mine.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, they have the original.
Right, because if you can sell all the copies that, the different copies for each time there was a story in there, you got a gold mine because you got the original printing of the stories.
This is another thing though, and that is, of course, when I watched the Jean Shepherd one today, which I highly recommend, and I know it's going to be fuzzy and whatnot because it's whatever. So good though. Again, you see an older Ralphie. You see him going to prom, and then I realized today something I did not realize, and I cannot believe I didn't know this. There are more books. Okay, I am like the easiest person to shop for because I love books so much, and I'm like, there's more books, and so there's a character in the original that was on PBS. Her name is Wanda. It's the girl he takes to prom, or Ralphie takes to prom. And I'm like, I'm kind of surprised that they gave his wife the name Sandy versus Wanda. Again, I haven't read the rest of the book, the physical books yet, because those are going on the wish list, or might be already on there on Amazon. So I was kind of surprised. I'm like, they chose Sandy for the wife's name, but now I'm curious as to what it looks like in these other books because there's several other books about Wanda. Although I'm very curious because these are like Wanda and something like Wanda. I can't remember. I'll have to go back and look and see what they said on Amazon, but it was like something with the bedroom. And I was like, well, okay, then maybe that's where it was in Playboy. I don't know.
Oh, okay. So, well, I mean, so one thing is, and this is why I love having you on or even watching Rogue One Radio, because you either have your picks for the week or whatnot, or and the thing is, like, I knew of the second movie, obviously Return to Oz, and we're going Wizard of Oz for a minute, but I knew nothing. I only knew there was one book. I only knew one book, and then all of a sudden I hear Nicole goes, "There's like 13. There's 13 books." I'm like, "Excuse me?"
Yeah.
And of course.
You know what? Okay, so I redid stuff for Christmas, and this shelf is going to get redone every week, different for Rogue One. So, and there's Christmas up here. So all the Wizard of Oz is over there. I'm pointing towards another book area, which is also there. Anyways, and yeah, there's over 13 books from the Wizard of Oz.
So what I did is, like, okay, I'm not worried about getting them. I mean, eventually I'll get the physical, but I looked at Kim. I said, I think it was like $9.99 at Apple Books for all 13. I went, bing, buy it. Because I didn't know there was 13 books. So I'm like, oh, I definitely want to read all these now.
And here's the other thing. There's the first 13 just based off of Frank L. Baum. That does not include Ruth Thompson afterwards.
Oh, son of a gun.
Took over as Ozian historian, and he knew. Is it Plum? It might be Plum. I'll have to go back. Okay. I don't have any of her books because I want all of his. I didn't.
Right.
I don't know. I'm on the fence now because I'm kind of like, well, if he knew about this before he passed away, if he gave the torch, handed off the torch, then I'm more open.
Well,
unlike what they did to the Gone with the Wind, when the author said she wanted it to die with her, They should have burnt it. It was supposed to be done, because now we got Scarlet, and I'm like, I hate you guys because you didn't listen to what the author said. The author wanted it to not continue on. She wanted it her own.
And we're going to touch on this real quick because, talking about that, and that's the one thing we're going to bring it back to Star Wars for a minute. That's the one thing Star Wars fans need to remember. Lucas passed that torch to Disney.
Yeah, they did.
He gave it to Disney to do with. He had certain rules that they couldn't do, but the rest of it it's their baby now.
Yeah, it is.
So for anybody that whine and cry about what they're doing, I look at it this way: we're all different people. We like what we like. We don't, and if there's stuff we don't like, I don't watch it. I may watch it, but I'm gonna come on my podcast and say, you know what, I didn't care for it, but if you did, awesome, happy you did, because that's what it's for. That's what entertainment is about. Is for everyone to enjoy something that they like. Just because I didn't enjoy something don't mean that Kim didn't enjoy it, or Nicole doesn't enjoy it, or Lunar Girl, or so I will never come on here and say, like, I will not go look at her and say you're an idiot for liking the Ewok movies. They're not for me, but I would never say. I'm using that as an example. She knows I'm not being serious about it.
I know.
I'm like,
but the thing is,
let me go change into my Ewok t-shirt. Excuse me.
They weren't for me, again, but I'm not going to, I don't know. I do I tease her every once in a while about New Kids, of course.
Oh yeah.
That's just because it's that thing where, heck, I was one of those ones, where everyone thought I was this metalhead, hard rock, metal. And then when they finally came over to my house and realized, wait, you got country, you got New Kids, you got Cyndi Lauper, Madonna, and like, I love everything. Yeah. So I played this part at school at long hair, earrings, and jean jacket. What'd you get?
Cat. Okay, so my cats almost know how to open up the door. They're closer, so they'll play with the knob. And so I can hear Alfie because now it could be Glinda too, and I could hear them. They're like right on the door, like knock, 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 and I could hear them like trying to tap, like trying to turn the doorknob.
So, anyway, that's freaking awesome. You can turn the doorknobs. I love it. So we're gonna turn this back to
Christmas Story.
Christmas.
Yeah,
we pretty much. Did we get everything you wanted to talk about, Nicole, about it?
I would like to know what your guys' favorite moment is from the second one. My personal favorite, and I mentioned this in the first one, and I wanted to connect it, and that is that they did this moment after he came home from getting the star from the tavern, but he's sitting there, and there's this sweet moment. He's sitting on the couch, and his mom comes up next to him. Just like in the original, again, that was my sweet moment from the first one. And she sits down with him and they have that beautiful shot. And I'm like, oh, they did it again. You know what I mean? But I liked it because it really connected. And I loved that moment. That was my favorite, like, love moment. And my funny, of course, has to be the one that Drew talked to. That was just hilarious. So I'm just curious on your guys' favorite scenes or favorite sweet scenes that you guys had from this. Although the ending was also chef's kiss. Loved it.
Go, Kim.
Well, my favorite part was Sandy was always saying, oh, I can do pirouettes, I can do this, I can figure skate. So she packs her figure skates up. They go out, down the steps she goes, hurts her ankle, and all she can say to them to the mom is, I can really do pirouettes. And then they get to Higbee's. Let the kids go see Santa Claus. They try and go shopping and she whacks somebody with the crutches.
Oh, but I love how they enjoyed themselves.
Yeah, I did too.
Yeah, poor Ralph had to go do all the shopping.
Because there was a bet going on in the lounge.
Yeah, right.
That was hilarious. That scene was also very funny. Very funny. Creative.
As far as funny goes, I mean, like I said, the reason why the Triple Dog Dare really stuck out to me in the original is because I remember doing those things. Again, yeah, I could choose the same scene again, the same thing, because it was one of those things. It was like a payoff for me, because I'm like, oh, come on, Flick's got to say, like, no, where's the Triple Dog Dare? When he, like the bets, I'm like, really? We're not going to do it. And then he friggin' did it. I'm like, yes, thank you for the payoff. That was my payoff. I mean, that was a payoff for me personally. But as for funny moments, man,
there's so many. There were good.
Right. And but the sweet moment, I will go with you, definitely, Nicole. And yes, that was a touching scene where Ralph was sitting down, and Mom was sitting with him, and the lights were all off. Had that payback to Mom and Dad doing Beautiful. It when
the kids went to bed on Christmas Day,
right? Of course, when they, in the original one, is like, oh, I hope Santa doesn't skip some house because 2 little boys ain't going to bed. And then, of course, the one thing I loved with the 73 version was they tuned into the NORAD radio.
Yeah.
Them speaking about where Santa Claus was at.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, I don't know what kid hasn't done that. Matter of fact, I have the app on my phone where I track him even on now.
Yeah.
I'm 51 years old and I still track Santa Claus. So I don't care.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I like that moment too, but I'll let you finish and then I'll tell you the other moment that I liked in there too.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No,
I'm trying to think of a funny moment.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if I can really choose one without watching it again.
Well, the other moment that I like too is when he turns to his wife and his wife says, well, the paper was asking for the obituary and I just couldn't give him the 3 lines on the page. So I gave him what you wrote. And he says, thank you. And then ultimately it ended up the paper calling him to be a writer. I thought that was just the best moment.
Yeah.
Because it was like his dream. There's his dream right there that he wanted to fulfill.
Yeah.
I just I know that the paper said that they would be syndicated, and obviously that means it's going to go out all over the country. I was kind of hoping that it was going to be one of those things where, yeah, it's going to be syndicated. We're moving back.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I was kind of hoping for that payoff of we're moving back to Indiana, or I'm moving back home, and bring my family back home. But honestly, I think I know we're talking about serious, and it's not a funny moment, but for me, the one that really stuck out to me, and again, we're talking about character development, is Scott Fargus.
Yes.
The fact that he literally thanked Ralphie for beating him up and changing him.
Yeah, he put in his place.
Right. And the fact that, in a way for Scott Fargus, he was able to pay it forward later in life. He could have easily taken Ralphie he even said, good thing no one else came by.
You would have been spending the weekend in jail.
Spending the weekend in jail, But again, but funny, gosh, there's so many funny moments. The radiator constantly give me an egg,
the snowball.
or the part of, all right, whoa, guys, no, I saw the old man do this. This is how you talk to these people, to these tree lots. Just follow me, follow my lead, and then he's like, oh, I don't know. I'll give you maybe $4 for that one. And Sandy's all, Ralph. And he's like, no. And it's like, I'm working. And you're like, sold. Hey, guess what? We sold that one. Like,
we sold the monster tree.
Ralphie, you just screwed that one all up, bro.
and then they get home, and all she can say was, we really should have took the branches out before we brought the tree in.
They should cut it. He should cut it down. And of course, he's all
just like his dad.
Right. And yeah. And again, I love all the different throwbacks, the back and forth between the new movie and the original movie, where some of the stuff just needed the payoff of seeing the original scene again.
Mm-hmm.
I love that. And yeah, and of course, the ending with Randy finally making it home. Everybody's there. They got Larry there trying to eat up all the friggin' the end of the casserole, And finally he does it just so they can have turkey. I'm like, who the hell would be friggin' after eating all that? Who would be hungry? You know, I mean, unless Larry ate all of the casseroles, maybe that's what they're trying to get at.
Well, he did say Larry was a bottomless pit.
It's true. He did say that.
He did it without a triple dawn dare.
Right. But no, I mean, for me, totally recommending. If you like the first one, you're going to like this one.
You are.
I felt this was, up until like more modern favorites, at least in the 2000s, my favorite has been Elf. And I feel like this is now a current new modern that I am like, oh. And it's just, it's a fantastic sequel.
I agree.
And
it's a true
Oh Fudge, I just saw the time. Oh Fudge.
Oh Fudge. Yeah.
Wrap up.
Yeah, you got like 14 minutes. Steve, just so you know, she may be a little late.
No, I'm not going to be late. We're good. I'm already all set up. We're good.
Okay.
We're good.
Right.
We're good. But yeah,
Anyways.
Oh Fudge, wrap up.
Yeah, let's wrap this up.
Yes,
Kim.
let's.
What's your recommendation? Is it a must? Is it a now family tradition?
Yeah,
Okay.
it is.
And I highly recommend if you can make the time, watch the first one, and then watch the second one. It really,
Yeah.
And make
I hope
sure
that we find it on DVD. I hope we can find it on Blu-ray. I would love to.
I hope they sell it. And the other thing I'm going to say this much is, I know a lot of us are trained because of Marvel to watch mid credits. The thing is, there's no mid credits, so everybody knows mid credit scenes. But watch the credits. There are a lot of side by side pictures from the original compared to the new one of stuff that they did payoffs for. Ralphie's mom on the phone with Ralphie on the phone. Between the two. And I loved it. So again, make sure you watch the credits on this because I mean, actually, with her, I'm being more trained to watching credits because the other day I was watching something and I actually had to call my daughter because she was into this series and I didn't realize there was a mid credit thing in this movie until I was watching it on Showtime. Went, what? And Kim's like, oh yeah, I knew it was there. I'm like, and that was, I mean, I know most people don't like it, but it was Breaking Dawn Part 1.
Yes.
There's a mid credit scene, which I couldn't believe there was one there. So I'm the person who will, the minute the movie ends in the theater, I'm walking out the door. I do not wait around. I want out of the theater, I want out of the building, and I want out in my vehicle and going home. When I'm home, same thing. Credits hit, poof. I don't need to watch credits. I mean, I know Ro loves all the people, but unless I'm looking for a specific song I heard, I can't remember what it was. I'll do that, and you just screen ahead to find that spot where the music's at. But other than that,
yeah, we gotta wrap this up.
We need to wrap it up. We gotta get Nicole of Rogue One Radio. So
yeah.
It's been a blast, y'all.
Oh, it's been great fun, and we always love having you on, regardless, because you always bring the props, you bring the extra knowledge, and it's like, oh my gosh, we love it.
Today I brought a little naughtiness to me. I was like, hey, exactly. I'm bringing Porkies and I'm bringing Playboy today.
And just so everybody knows, and we kind of teased this earlier, but this is really serious. End of the month, whatever our last Tuesday of the month is, we're gonna work with Nicole and with Lunar Girl. We're gonna come back on. We're gonna talk Wednesday.
Yes, we are.
So it's gonna happen for the end of this year. Plain and simple. I'll bump Eddie and the Cruisers until next year.
Yes.
Kim's never seen Eddie and the Cruisers, so she's heard some of the songs. But anyways,
yes.
I want to thank everybody that stuck out tonight with us. I mean, 2 hours and 43 minutes of counting.
We're great.
We're awesome. And Nicole, again, thank you for coming on. We enjoy having you on here all the time. And of course, we will be in the chat here shortly with you guys because as always, like we say afterwards, after us is Rogue One Radio.
Join them in the chat.
And Steve and DJ.
Right. DJ gonna be on the night?
He's still on sabbatical.
Oh, Dean. Oh well, still got you and Steve.
I know. I missed my degree, so I'm.
I mean, in case you're new,
I can Lunar Girl tonight. I'm so excited because I got to hang out with you and Kim, and now I get to go hang out with Steve and Kelly.
Right.
And my
Lunar Girl's going to be on there. You guys are all talking about Tales of the Jedi.
Oh my God! You guys know how many weeks I've been waiting for this? I had to wait because of Andor. And I'm like,
oh well, I'm sorry.
I can't wait. then there's something coming that you guess you're gonna have to watch the stream because
we'll watch it.
A little extra something special. And I'm like, I gotta wait a couple weeks for this. So yeah. Anyways, it was fun. Thank you guys. Thank you for everybody for coming and having fun. Thank you again, guys, for letting me guess, because I always love just having fun and talking and about fun fandoms. Love it.
Right.
Great times.
And where can they find you on socials?
Oh, me. You can find me on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok as Peace Love Fandoms, because I absolutely love fandoms. On Facebook, I'm actually part of a page called Peace Love Disney. So, and I absolutely love that because I am co-admin of that. And then I'm also 1/3 of Rogue One Radio, which again is about to start in 10 minutes. So go get your drink and scoot on over to Rogue One Radio, which is also on Twitter, Instagram. So I'll see y'all there.
All right. Nicole, thank you so much. Have a wonderful night.
See y'all.
All right.
Bye.
Bye. And with that being said, again, Rogue One Radio coming up real quick. Next week, we are doing, Kim, what is it?
We're doing
some Hallmark movie that Kim wants us to do.
Christmas Carol.
Right. It's a Christmas Carol with
Carrie Fisher. Yeah.
That's the reason why I agreed to it, because it got Carrie Fisher in it.
It does have Carrie Fisher.
You're lucky I like Carrie Fisher that much.
I know I am.
Because I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I need to start hating Carrie Fisher now.
No.
That way I don't have to be part of that show next week.
No.
I can hate her for 1 week.
No.
Damn it. All right. Anyways, check out Rogue One Radio. They are on next, right after us, right here on YouTube. And next week we're going to talk about a Hallmark movie. I think it's a Hallmark movie.
It is a Hallmark movie. And don't forget to subscribe and hit the like button.
Oh yeah, there's like
always hit the bell, and also hit the bell to be notified when we do go live.
Right. And until next week, have a great week
and a great weekend.
Be kind to everyone.
# keep talking and
have a warm holiday season as you are right now. But we'll talk to you every week, obviously up to through Christmas. So, and until next week, I am Scott.
I am Kim.
We are used and abused. And of course, I am not ready with the right fucking button. But here we go. Good night, everybody.
Peace. Good night. Peace.